Moose is in the house. Moose is in the house. Watch out. Watch out. Here's Moosey.
What's good, everyone? How are you doing? I hope you're doing fantastic. I'm doing okay. Thanks for asking. I appreciate you asking. I know you're asking, even if you're not saying anything. I'll clean up this background a little bit. I got a tote bag with my laptop in it. A belt. Don't worry about it. All right. That's a little bit cleaner.
Video games.
There, we got the boys. Hey, Bagman, thank you for the sub. Appreciate it. And Go Pause. Hell yeah. Go Pause. Been subbed for 44 months. That's almost an entire year. And Bagman for 12 months. Not quite a year, but we'll get there. Thank you. Much obliged. I do appreciate it. I had to change my camera stuff around a little bit. So, there. I think that looks a little bit better. I'm a little bit pink. I look a little bit like a raw chicken, as it were. Let me adjust this. I'm also scruff maxing. I don't know if you can tell. I have not shaved in quite a while. That's something that has to be done at some point. We need to be doing something about that. We can't let this continue. Maybe I'll shave tonight before I go to bed, and then, you know, I'll look presentable for work tomorrow. And not like I just rolled in off the street. Damn, there's like really no happy medium, eh? No. Good webcam is probably my next big purchase. Nice shirt, thank you. Did you guys know that I'm the actual N64 kid from that video? Were you aware of that? That's some deep lore. Your dad works at Nintendo? That's about as believable as the thing I just said, but my thing's real. One day you'll reach a full year. Keep reaching for that rainbow. Nintendo 64 kid, yeah. That was me, yeah. I made Nintendogs. You know what's actually crazier than me being the N64 kid is that I never actually owned an N64 growing up, which kind of precludes me from being the N64 kid. But it'd be funny if it was real. Anyway, let's get into it. We got a bracket tonight. Why is my challenge closed? What happened? It like shut itself down. DXBL heavyweight week 2. I haven't been recording any of this. All right, we're recording now. As soon as I start recording, I got a cough. What is that? What is that? Explain that if wrestling's fake. We got another heavyweight tournament tonight. I was looking through old tournaments. I will be uploading a bunch of stuff from last year where we had the Summer of Monster Rancher. We had Monday Monster Madness where every week we did a new... I'm doing the Jon Stewart thing with my pen. Just, you can't see it. It's off stream. It's happening, though. I'm fidgeting. Where we did a whole bunch of Monster Rancher tournaments. So that's all going to be thrown up online soon. I found a couple of older VODs that never made it to the channel. They're there if you watch, like, the VODs the whole way through. Hey, Torble! Thank you, appreciate it. Next purchase, dedicated pen cam. I'll just hold it like this. There we go, I just saved money. I can't do pen tricks. No, that's close. But, what was I saying before I distracted myself? Yeah, there's a bunch of like older VODs that are like kind of good, and it's like, it's a shame that I didn't like make them into full videos. So I've been talking to Project LG about it. Just add the pen tricks in post and little explosions and stuff. That'd be sick. So the next VOD that's going up, that's being edited, is the loser. Well, the loser stays on tournament is being is going to be uploaded at some point. But right before we put up the that clipped. Right before I put up the loser stays on tournament, I'm going to put up the VOD of me building Block Rock and Beak, which I think is you know, it's a good video. There's a lot of stuff going on. It's two actual two like full ass streams, and it reminded me that we also did a stream of like who you would pick in like battle if your goal was to lose, like what monster is most optimal at losing. And it's kind of funny to look back on that because we did a full like 3-hour stream talking about it. And I don't know if that's, you know, good for it. Is there Nuzlocke today? No, today's a tournament. And as for uploads, I do have a Nuzlocke in the chamber ready to fire. I didn't get it completely done today though. And then we will have we'll have it up sometime this week, and then we'll get back into once a week uploads for the Nuzlocke. So, you know, you can look forward to that if that's one of the things you enjoy about the channel. Any monster I raise optimally for losing? Hell yeah. I didn't read that correctly, but I read correctly in my brain. But yeah, the Block Rock and Beak one is going up. You know what's crazy? Do you guys remember when I played SSX Tricky on, or not Tricky, but SSX 3 on stream? Turns out that was like a year and like 2 months ago. It doesn't feel like it was that long ago. I could have sworn it was in like October. Like, there's no way that's real, right? Hold on, when did I put out the DQM Dark Prince PvP? When did I put this out? April. Yeah, okay. So there's no way it was a full year. I don't know what's going on. That doesn't feel right at all. It might be that my file structure got fucked up and the numbers are incorrect. I could have sworn it happened during last summer. Because I was talking, dude, I gotta like fix this light. I don't know why I'm so peachy keen. It's killing me a little bit. There we go. A little bit darker, but you know, it looks okay. It's a little bit flatter of light. It had to have been during the summer. Because I was talking about, you know, my next video, like the next one I'm putting out and all that. And that would have been after DQM was done, obviously. Yeah, I don't know. I think the numbers might be messed up. There's no way. Unless I play it twice. Did I play it twice? There's no way. Anyway, I don't know what I'm talking about anymore. Point is, a bunch of older VODs are still pretty funny. And, you know, I was debating doing like a Moosebones classic type thing. But there's not a lot of stuff that's like so unbelievably old that it's like noteworthy that it's old. It's just kind of like, oh, this is a thing that we did last year or like a year and a half ago. Also, I was watching back some Guilty Gear footage from like last October and I was fucking schmoovin'. I don't know what happened. Turns out you don't play the game for 6 months and you forget what you're doing. But I was looking back at it being like, damn, that dude would have beat my ass. And I don't know. It happens. You don't use it, you lose it, or something like that. Let's get into it. We got some Monster Rancher tournaments. Today is Heavyweight. Heavyweight is a 3,500 total stat cap, meaning that if your monster has... Your monster is allowed to allocate points equal to 3,500. Nervous a new Marvel game is going to be closer to Strive than Fighters. Fighters, I'm going to be honest, was not a fan of it. So, you know... It was cool when it was novel, and then as soon as it was, I had played it for like more than a couple hours, I was like, this isn't my jam at all. YouTube's SSX video starts with March 4th signups. See, this is what I'm saying. There's no way it was that long ago. Maybe it was. But yeah, that was the thing, right? Because it was for... No, it wasn't for March 4th. Hold on. YouTube's SSX video starts with March 4th signups. You're talking about for Combo Breaker. That's when the signups began. But if you clicked on the video, it'll tell you the date of the video. You're trying to deduce... You're trying to deduce clues from it when you could just click the like see more button. Ever feeling depression? Visit a necromancer. They're experts at raising spirits. That's pretty good. Looking forward to my Can You Beat Monster Rancher 2 without spending money? I think that's going to be definitely a stream I do soon. Because, you know, not to like peek behind the curtain too much, I don't have a lot of ideas for like what to do from this point on. We're a little bit stuck. And, you know, it's not so much that I'm like, I don't know what to do or like I'm not enjoying it, as much as it is like I have so many other like little hobbies on the way that or like on the go rather, not on the way. That doesn't make any sense. That it's been kind of tough to like focus on everything as much as I want to. Like there was I was thinking about it, and I'm like, oh, there's all these little things I want to do for the channel to like make, you know, the stream a little bit better. The big thing is removing the latency on YouTube, which means I have to stop using Restream and start using another like dedicated plugin. And that's going to require me to actually learn how to do that, and it's going to be a whole thing, and I'll probably have to redo my chat and this and that. It's going to be a little bit frustrating. I want to redo it so I don't have this big-ass box in the corner on my overlay, because it just, like, it's just taking up space, really. That'll be part of the update I do with Macho Cheese's new logo that he made for me for the DXBL. And that'll all be, like, mid-season stuff. I'm going to, like, adjust all that for when we, like, take our, like, quick break in the middle of the season in DXBL4. I don't know, it'll probably be earlier. Honestly, it'll probably be July. But it's like, I'm doing that. Like, I have to worry about stream stuff. I have to, like, get videos done in time. I have to have a Rancher Rundown out by the end of June, which is... It's going to happen, but it's looking very stressful right now because of my work schedule. But we'll make it happen. And then, you know, boxing's a thing. And I've been taking that a lot more seriously and going to the gym extra nights a week. And then I'm getting back into game dev as well. I was looking at the little 3D models I made last year, and I was like, I can't let this go to waste. This guy's too cool. I can't let him die a death of apathy. I need to put him in something. So, Hisoka and Prezioso. There's been a game I've been working on and off for like Hisoka, that I've been working on and off for like, it's 3 S's? That there's a game I've been working on like on a design level for many a year, and I feel like there's a lot of people my age that kind of have one in the chamber like that, where they're like, if only I knew how to make games. But I don't want to be the guy, and I spoke about this before we had this conversation. So, you know, I'm on record feeling the way I feel about this. Predictions live. Do you like Hisoka or do you like Prezioso? Hisoka for Ripper is a very good name. But Unholy, different bald guy with a mustache and a beard, was talking to me at Combo Breaker about how he has this idea for a game. He didn't tell me what the idea was. I didn't really press him on it, but it was just, you know, we were talking about wanting to get into game dev and this and that, and how he has an idea and he wants to like be able to like hire a team of people to make it happen. And I am like very on record of saying I don't want to be an ideas guy. I don't like that role. I find it very, very stressful because you can't help out when things get tough. You're not able to like actually lend a hand. And I've been in that situation with friends making games and stuff, and I'm basically a consultant. And if I want to see something implemented, I have to wait for someone else to do it. And that shit feels terrible. Also, 84% of people voting on Prezioso. Hopper combo and retaliation, that's going to be big damage. But, yeah. This is this week's. Is the wrong one up? Okay, let me restart it. One sec. Why did it... Did I not save? You know what it is? I have 2 identical copies. Okay. Save. I have 2 identical copies of my cruise control, and it's just, I'm not sure which one. KC reset. Bracket. There. Okay. So, sorry about that. We got the real bracket. Let's hear it for the real comptroller. Okay. But yeah, I don't want to be beholden on other people if I want to make progress on something, you know? And so that's not like me. I don't want to Unholy to like watch this stream if he watches it and be like, "Oh, he's saying the thing I said is like not what he wants to do." Like I don't want him to feel like it's a negative against him, because I'm like very, very on record of being like, I've done it and I don't like it. It makes me feel awkward and stupid. And so, you know, quite literally in the truest sense of the term, no offense. Can he finish him off? He's just going to get tailed again. He could have gone for the flicks. He didn't do it. Or the jabs, I should say. So that was quite a big gap in, like, monster skill. Or, like, monster... Not skill, but... like, tiers. And they were a lot closer than it looked like it was going to be. Rambu Kamindu... I guess just Kamandu. And Okani Kani Jr. There's a lot of, like... monsters we've seen before in this. Get where you're coming from. It's just, I don't like the idea. If I want something to be done, and I kind of have this problem, I am not the best delegator. I've gotten better at it as I've done more like management like roles, but if I don't think you're gonna nail it, I won't ask you to do it. And that's not really fair to me or to the other person, because how are you going to learn if you're not given the opportunity to like do it, right? But it's just, you know, it's a character flaw. It's not that I'm a control freak as much as it is I don't want someone to feel pressured, I think. It's not a like, oh, I don't think you're going to do it right. It's like, oh, I don't want you to feel bad for failing. Which is like, you know, just as bad. It's just a different way. 85% on Okani Kani Jr. Issue is I'm very bad at voicing what I want when I'm trying to explain things to people. I'm good at communication in that sense. But for me, it's literally like, if I don't think you can handle it, I'm not going to ask you to do it. Also, the chop combo is still one of the sickest moves in this game. If management was easy, everyone wouldn't be able to complain about their managers. It's true. It's easy to get put in a management position. It is not easy to make the decisions necessary. Depending on the company. There's lots of like situations out there where it's just like failure after failure, and you know, the C-suite just gets to keep their jobs because they're too big to fail. There's too many contingencies in place to make sure that, you know, the company doesn't actually see any like huge repercussions for bad management. Looking at you, all big game studios. Big Graham and Gulag. Like, they let Bobby Kotick run around for how many years, being a pest or whatever his deal was. I don't know. Boo Graham. Oh, it's Big Graham. What the hell? Oh, it's Gulag. Dude, I'm stupid. I combine the names. I do think even... There's too many. Even like in the like the most like challenging like management roles, they're usually easier than like you know, the labor jobs. The labor jobs, obviously, you know, we call them, and this is like disparaging. It's disparaging to both people, but in like AV, we'd say there's like neck down and neck up jobs, and the neck down jobs are jobs where you don't need to like think too hard. Prediction is live, and the neck down jobs are almost always more difficult. Because the neck up jobs, it's the same shit, right? Like you can learn how to do it. Somebody can teach you, but one involves, you know, the insane stress that comes along with manual labor, even though there is, I believe, a cleansing power to manual labor. There's something about it. When you go home after a job well done, when you've been using your hands, it feels much different than a job well done when you like made the right call. 54%, but you are absolutely not compensated for it fairly. Okay, it looks like player one is just like in control in all these matches. Oh, the samurai kick miss. Anyway, not to get into labor arguments or whatever. We're not doing that today. But yeah, I've been taking it really slow. I've been like learning how to do these like small projects in Godot, because last year I did a bunch of like coursework on learning Python, and you know, I'm obviously not like an expert, but like I learned quite a bit. And then I was going through Godot, and I'm like, oh, you need to use C# or C++ for this. And, you know, I only know like absolute basic, like C stuff that you would learn in like a 101 class. So I've just been learning like Godot script, and it's been a lot of fun. Yeah, it seems very, very intuitive. All right, so he shut me up. March of the Goose? The Goose can't lose. Korra and Charybdis. Wow, been a while since we've seen Charybdis. The thing I like about Godot, and like all game engines are like this, right? Is it this one? That's 3500. Okay, it's definitely not that one. The thing I like about Godot, and you know, I've never used Unreal. I have a tiny bit of experience in Unity, but Godot's been pretty interesting. And oh, who is it? Not okay. I was gonna be. I know Stark. I don't know UFO, but UFO I think is someone who has entered tournaments. Okay, prediction is live. There's so much I learned as a kid, like in high school, and well, I mean from like grade 7 till like grade 10 or so, before I kind of dropped all game dev ideas to go into like focusing on music. The ideas and like the problem solving and all that stuff doesn't go away. Like if I'm thinking about like how to work through a problem, like why is this like collision detection not working, or like how come my guy's not moving the way I want him to, all the like little like the ways I learned how to think when I was a kid like still apply. It's just, you know, the steps are different. Or even a lot of times steps are the same. 66% on Korra. It's just, you know, the letters you type into the box are different. I like Godot script, but the only problem I have with it is it can only be used in Godot. I don't really plan on becoming a full-time game dev, right? So if I can learn one engine and make my games in that, then I'm fine with that. I'm not really beholden to like expanding my skill set for work or whatever, but I could see how using proprietary scripting is like a dead end if your goal is to like, if you have like broader dreams of working in the industry. But yeah, it's been very, very intuitive so far. Damn! Alright, we're going to game 3. We're going game 3. But yeah, like Torval was saying, I feel the exact same way. There's just so many like half-built game maker projects that I have from when I was a kid. I had like a Mega Man clone, and I had I made a fighting game. I never got to the point where like I figured out AI, but I figured out how to put in like motion inputs and combos and hitboxes and stuff like that. And then, you know, like all the basic platformer type jazz that you do. Also, Korra wins that. Okay, Shrike and tongue and slapping. It's the winner, right? Yeah, Shrike is the one that won Deluxe Cup this year. I haven't sent out the prize for to Krautau for winning yet, but it's a matter of it being ungodly expensive, and me. I forgot there's this. It's an extremely expensive prize that I give out every year. I do get to write it off. It's advertising, right? It's part of my business expenses, as it were. But it's still, that's only like 33%. I still have to like eat the cost on the rest of it. So I'm waiting until I've paid off Predictions Live. I'm waiting until I've paid off my summer, like this quarter of taxes, and then I'm gonna like look into getting it made. First couple months of the year are extremely expensive, and then, you know, it kind of slows down a little bit in terms of the struggle. I guess it's not really a struggle to pay the taxes, but, you know, I got to keep it in mind. And, like, what am I trying to say here? It's just, like, if I want to put, like, $300 into a prize, and this year I got to do 2, it's certainly not something I'm looking forward to like putting the money into when I also have to pay like $3,000 in taxes this quarter. I guess I got to pay $3,000 in taxes every quarter, but it's like this month. 53% on Shrike. It's a little bit easier to handle in the second half of the year because that's when I'm so busy, and so I'm just like making money hand over fist and splurge a little bit more. Deathbringer 39%. You're super dead, brother. Gotta learn Dakota at some point. It's fun. Slash combo? Jesus. Okay, he's not out of it. He's got 80 guts. A couple tail salts could do it. Uno mas? Just no spit. That's his name. Alright, well, you lost this, brother, I think. That was quite the comeback attempt. Can't beat the champ, though. Shrike gonna take that super quickly. Spot Trick and Wham Shell up next. Okay, predictions live. Who do you guys like? Trying to see if it's possible for me to stream a couple more times this week. I'm not a big fan of how little I've been able to stream, but also when I've wanted to stream, I've wanted to do not Monster Rancher stuff. So, you know, that's always a bit of a pain. Let's see. Okay, so I gotta work Thursday night, Friday night. So I can stream tomorrow. I might get home a little bit late. It depends on what they need. I might get home a little bit late, though. Censoring the pot and spot trick is crazy work. 93% on spot trick, by the way. Damn, big bite throw miss. You hate to see it. Ooh, the claw assault. I love fire charge, man. It's not a great tech, but it is sick. And that's enough. Fist Missile will always be funny on this monster. Hey, Zeph, how are you doing? Ooh, big Sting Slash. She's got all the crossover techs. Fashionably late, thanks to shenanigans. Well, you made it, and that's all that matters. Spotrick gonna take that. Look at that. Holy moly. People believed in the Spotrick. Alright, Root Beer and 3x Pimpy. Here we go. My boy. The Pimpy's back. How's the ranchin'? It's okay. We're having fun. Oh yeah, Root Beer, the plant. Okay, predictions live. Will he hit the diving press? That's what it comes down to, basically. The extra life isn't going to help you. I saw, was it one person using Baku at Combo Breaker? Or maybe it was only in casuals when I was watching. I think Baku is probably a pretty okay monster for competitive. It's just, you're really risking the diving press. He'll hit 2 bites and crit 1. Yeah. All right. 63% on Pimpy. The opener. Face drill. Big miss. Diving press. Big miss. All right. Root Beer in the lead. Just like that. Hits the bite. It's almost even. Root Beer does have the guts lead. 70 miss on root combo. 3 times Pimpy. Only done damage to himself. Big face drill. He's got the grit. Hits the dust cloud. Gives him power. One more dust cloud. It's not going to hit. Ooh, jab miss. Diving press to be funny. Face drill 57. He's going to hit it with power. Look at that. Root Beer takes game number 1. Game number 2. Here we go. Root combo. A little bit of damage. Pimpy building up those guts. He's quite accurate now. He doesn't care about that at all. Charge 59% into diving press. 6 damage to himself. All right, I'll take it. I appreciate the combo attempt, brother. Face drill, it's going to hit. It won't kill, though. Gives him power and a couple more guts. Power diving press, super funny. Dust cloud's the play, though. Misses it anyway. All right. Well, what are you going to do? That was pretty even with hits and misses. Only so much you can do. RNG is RNG. Hinwood and Metal Aim are up next. Gulag won his first match. Yeah, he did well. It looked like he was going to be like 2-0 in a handshake real quick, and then he turned it around. He got hit with frame 1 crit Snowstorm on game 1, and then game 2 he got hit with opening Ice Wave, and then he brought it back. Okay, predictions live. What do you guys like? I believe in Hinwood days. Help me keep my feelings longer. That's you guys don't get that reference. That's fine. It's okay. You guys don't listen to music. You don't listen to music. That's one of my favorite bits of Friendship, the new Paul Rudd, Tim Robinson joint. He's listening to some like hardcore band. And his wife is like, you expect her to be like, you don't listen to this kind of music. But instead she says, you don't listen to music. And it's very small. But it's a funny interaction. All right. Everybody's liking Hinwood on this. Can't believe that's a real movie. Need to watch that. It's so sick. Macho and I went and watched it when we were in Chicago. Spin slash. Big miss. Rear leg kick. A little bit of damage. Huge guts lead, though. Another one. Into the stab throw. He's a tank. He's not going to be dodging. Bonk him on the head. Little Bunny Fufu style. 99 guts with the kick. Big miss. He can keep going for it. 2 in a row. Mamma mia. Death thrust when you only got to do 1 damage. Tastes great when you got a horse in your ear telling you it's shit. Alright. Or nasty, I guess. Highly recommended. Super funny. Yeah, it's a good movie. Alright. He's got no guts. 50 guts, lead, death thrust. That's a lot of damage. It's probably over. Yeah. Oh, tank into Centaur is really, really rough. Not much you can do about it. Okay. Next up, we got Slop Tart and Tsukiko. Wow. So Slop Tart got second place at the Deluxe Cup this year. Tsukiko is a monster that has been running around since DXBL4. You'll love to see it. Okay, predictions live. Who do you guys like? Got your Switch 2 finally, but your internet was out all day, so I had to go to your mother-in-law's to get everything set up on it. It's unfortunate that that's the world we live in, where you're just like, oh, I have to connect to the internet to like live my life now. I remember I was trying to help one of people at one of the banquet halls I work at. She's an older Serbian woman. So her English, here's me saying her English isn't super strong, and I can't even say the word English. 99% on Slop Tart. Which is super, super nice lady. And she wanted me to like help her like migrate all of her photos and stuff and all of her like WhatsApp messages from one phone to her new phone. And it like I needed to connect to the internet for it, and like her SIM card wasn't connecting to the internet. It was a whole thing, and I felt like so bad for her because she's like, I just want to see the pictures of my grandkids. And I'm like, all right, I'll figure this out for you. It took me like 45 minutes. Oh man, you need to if you want a system transfer. Yeah, I know, I get it. And you want to do a system transfer because you want to have all your games and stuff. Needed Wi-Fi to get Mario Kart? Oh yeah. You bought the idea of Mario Kart. Go online to download it. What a world. Anyway, we're in game 3 now. We're buying a house. I think we'd be getting Switch 2. So glad we'll be closing this month. Yeah, I heard about that. Congratulations. If I had to pick one or the other, I'd probably pick the Switch 2 because you literally cannot buy a house in Toronto for under $1 million. The big whip. Slop Tart. It's close. Tsukiko gave him a fight. But Slop Tart's going to take it. You purchased the right to play this game. That's quite literally what all games are. You own nothing, and you'll like it. El Tigre Loco and the Joker Baby. Piranha Plant was base roster. I was a happy boy. Yeah, it's sick. I'm happy for you. Piranha Plant was he announced? No, it was after the Everyone Was Here thing. I remember watching it at work. And then it was just like, oh, by the way, there's also Piranha Plant. Which was sick as hell. Okay, prediction is live. Just a couple of months into the game, yeah. Place we bought is cheaper mortgage than our rent? What the hell? Pianta was my first racer unlock. What if he's a secret chuckster? You gotta watch out. We don't like their kind around here. 62% on the Joker Baby. Chuckster is like 100% a slur. But they've like reclaimed it for themselves. I'm a chuckster. You love him for it. I'm not even allowed to say it. Joker Baby, spinning to win. Look at that. Holy moly. It is Goo Night, though. Those freaking clankers. What were we saying? There was another one we came up with. We came up with another slur. Forging new ground in novel slurs on this stream. I forget what it was for though. The double slab El Tigre Loco. Not going down. Cataquack is sick. I like how they put the crab from Mario 1 in it. What's his name? Sidestepper? Or like not Mario 1, but like Mario Bros. That's so funny. He doesn't even like hold the steering wheel. Oh, Jesus. And double roll assault? Alright. White Mochi, baby. He did it. Here comes the sidestepper. No, no, no. No, 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 no. Okay, I got to put some scores in real quick before I forget. I have to play as a cow now. They changed Peach and Toad's voice actor. Yeah, it happens. There's this thing called aging. I saw that they were like sad they don't get to do it anymore, but also like it's not that I don't have empathy. It's more so you got to do the same job for 30 years. And like, if I'm being honest, there wasn't like a lot involved in that job, right? Isn't this? Is it Chris? Like, what you did, like, what, like 4 voice lines a year or something? I'm sure you got other work. It's more of just like, I don't get to play these characters that I really enjoy. That knee name? I didn't even see it. We're not worrying about it. Prediction is live. Who do you guys like? Feel obligated to play Sidestepper when I get it. Sidestepper is interesting to me. Charge and Chuck, I think, is one of the guys I'd most like to play. They should let me play as a coin block. I guess Coin Coffer is kind of like that. He's a coin block with more steps. 100% on knee. God damn. Charge and Chuck is a cool one. He is. They're just like, we put Football Man in the game. The food picks have always been the crabs is kind of the brand. Ah, that's true. Oh, power spit, 20 damage. Let's go, baby. Missed the tail assault, another spit. Async in there. Async is JP's, by the way. He's gonna win it. I think JP doesn't like playing this game. I'm gonna be real. He's just like, what can I build that would be strong without having to like actually play the game? And that's not like an indictment of him. I think that's a very smart use of his time. It's just, you know, I'm noticing a trend. Sidestepper gets to see the light of day, but fighter fly languishes in the darkness. Damn, that's true. Did Fighterfly come back in... He was in Super Mario Land too, right? Not Super Mario Land 2, but Super Mario Land as well. Only landed spit? It was enough. I like that you say that, and yet here's a Power Phoenix. I mean, that's literally it, right? Is that it's... Like... I'm not trying to be insulting. It's just like, it's a very simple build, right? A lot of his builds lately have been like very simple. Nothing wrong with that. But Knee's gonna chew him up and spit him out. I can't believe he won that second game, but it is what it is. It do be like that sometimes on this hell planet. Primus and Susie X3, so like Pimpy X3? Oh my god. Primus. Freya's monster from many, many moons ago. The Ducklon. Butterfly is also in Superstar Saga. And there is an unused model for one in Mario Power Tennis? Really? Interesting. From the Freshman Cup. It's been a while. Prediction is live. Hey Bob, how are you doing? What monster is root beer? Plant. Furred plant, like the hair one. Is it furred plant or hair plant? I think it's just hair plant. That's mine. It's hair plant. Yeah. Okay, so it's not a Pimpy X3 situation. It's just 3 Susies. 65% on Primus. Here we go. Damn, he's got the build. That's crazy. Big face attack miss. Big face attack miss. Prime is still in there. He's losing, but he can swing. Giant whip 47. What do we got? Oh, the tail swing. 1 second left. Got him with the whip. Kamikaze. Dude, what? There's fucking something somebody said at Combo Breaker about tail swing. What was it? It was disgusting. Oh, fucking, they called it the meat spin. Anyway, we're going to game 3. Add all my monsters fighting. You shouldn't have bought a house. You could have afforded the sub. That's all I'm going to say. How many times did it spin? 1. Face attack. That big punch miss. That giant whip hits. Frey's gonna come back. There's 7 seconds left in the ad. We can wait. Hey, friendly, how are you doing? See, you've been streaming a lot. Did I get 2-0'd? You got 2-1'd. You missed the whole thing. I'm sorry. It was you got a 1-hit KO in game 2. So it was not a wash. Razor Leaf and Lil Bugger. Hell yeah. Razor Leaf, a hair we've seen many a time. I know who Lil Bugger is, but... Lil Big? Okay, so we got double hair. Maximum punched all 3 Susies in game 2. Okay, prediction is live. Who do you guys like? If I build the duck that starts with a bound chain, it'll only need to learn explosion. Tell me what we're fighting for. It's kind of funny how he doesn't sound like that on any other songs. We've talked about that before, but the other one, what's it called? The Hey Leonardo? She likes me for me, not because I look like Dirty Harry. I don't know. It's a completely different voice. What did he do? 61% on Razor Leaf. People like the Green Bunny. Banger? Which one? Big Banger. Look at that. Here we go. All of them? Damn, we got a Blessed Union of Souls shooter in here.
Oh, no, I need your help.
All right. Well,
Burying his body. Oh, bring some towels and some garbage bags.
what do we got? Gas KO, another. Dude. He agrees with you. That shit's a big bang. We call that the Sheldon Cooper. Beef Tank and Rise and Grind up next. Oops, all bangers. Me when I finally dropped that chiptune album I've been working on for like 9 years. Rise and Grind! I love Rise and Grind. Hey, Arcas Herrick. Welcome. I love this monster because he is hell mode to raise. Little Bugger dodge everything, hitting every big bang. Yeah, that do be Monster Rancher. Prediction is live. Can you believe there's people who want to make this game more balanced? We were kind of trolling JP for talking about it. But in his defense, he's not the only person who thinks this way. I just think they all happen to be wrong. But he was talking about how he wanted to make a balance patch for PvP, like with human controls, to make it more, like more balanced, essentially. And it was, I almost felt bad for him because he was like, "What do you guys think of this?" And everyone was like, "That terrible idea." We were at dinner, and every single person was like, "No, man." What's the point? I think JP is kind of in the same kind of boat that I am, where like we don't have any coding experience and we like the idea of being able to make video games, right? And I think his job is a little bit more intensive than mine is in terms of like the amount of hours he has to like actually do real work. So maybe his life is not so conducive to like learning the code, and he wants to kind of just like build on something he already loves. 83% on Beef Tank. But I think Monster Rancher is at its most interesting when it's bullshit. When things happen and you're like, yep, that's expected, it's like the least hype it is. Also, 38% talking about things that shouldn't happen. It's just, you know, I think, and he's not the only one who feels like this, so this isn't like a JP thinks this. There's a lot of people that like really, really enjoy this game. And they want it to be like kind of more legitimate in terms of like a way to measure skill. And this is just not the game for that. There is skill in building. There's learned skill in being able to complete like difficult builds. There's learned skill in the decision-making process that comes with like whenever there's a new gimmick tournament that like me or Macho or someone runs, and you're like, what would be really good for this? And trying to figure out like the best thing to like exploit the system. There's a skill in that. But in terms of like who gets first place, unless you like figured out something really, really broken that nobody was like planning for, it is mostly luck. Which is why we saw ultra top tier lose to Zilla right there. Look at that. Rise and Grind, one of like undoubtedly the strongest monsters you can possibly make in this format, and it lost round 1 to Zilla, who is like, you know, not known for being particularly strong. Robot Hot and Sensui up next. Some imbalance has to exist, and that's good for the game. I tend to agree in like a narrative sense as well, right? And we've talked about this a lot, where like I talk about it in the plant video, I talk about it in like the Color Pandora video, I'm sure I talk about it in the Monol video as well. The idea that like everything needs to be balanced is like, Predictions Live, by the way, is born from an idea of video games have to be sports, right? And that is not true. Even at their most, what do you call it? Like even at their most balanced, where you have something like Rocket League, where there's one character and everyone plays that one character. How many other examples of that are there in like the history of like esports and competitive gaming? It's basically like that and like actual sports games, because you can like play the same team, right? But even then, the teams are different. They have different strengths and weaknesses. I think one of my favorite lines, 95% on Robot Hot. One of my favorite lines from any of the Rancher Rundowns I've made is in the plant video. And I said, fighting games are like imbalanced in the way that like you have two guys fighting, but you decide to give one guy a gun. And video games and competitive games in general are just giving different guys different types of guns of varying strength. And, you know, I think that makes it more interesting. most IRL sports aren't even balanced. No, they're not, because, you know, they have to completely change the rules over and over again to make things more viewer friendly. And, you know, if certain players become too powerful, the whole thing gets a balance patch. That shit has happened many, many times throughout history, where one player is just so far beyond. They're like, we can't let this keep happening. The game sucks now. So they put rules in place to limit their power level. You know, it happens. Some teams are just the Leafs. We made round 2 this year, baby. What are you talking about? Line solved it. Let's give Mochi a cane. Nothing bad can ever happen. I don't even know what that means, man. They lowered the mound for Bob Gibson. Yeah. And they put goaltending rules in place for basketball, because every team would just go out and, like, you know, on cross-country treks to find someone who is 7 feet tall so they could just put them in front of the net. And they just go like that. And then that was, like, how you win. And there was a thing like that in football as well, where they I don't remember what team it was. There was a guy who was like 7 foot something, and they would just have him stand at the back and block field goals. It was the Chiefs. That's so sick, man. They're just like, we need a freak on our team. And then the NFL is like, no freaks allowed. Also, the dude with like the hammer foot, the guy who had like no toes because he was born with a deformity, that allowed him to kick field goals that were like 80 yards. Oh my god. And they're like, no, you can't do that anymore. You need to wear a real shoe. It's everywhere in competition. People like to pretend it's not, but prediction is live. And then, you know, there's just all the rules that are changed for the sake of, or like implemented for the sake of viewership. Like a shot clock is not there for competitive integrity. It is in a little bit, like in a sense, but it's mostly there because people don't want to watch one team just like pass back and forth over and over again. They'd be watching soccer if they cared about that. And that's not to disparage soccer. It's just a very different viewer base. 99%. And like, that's a great example. Possession time is 99% on Jamlord. Possession time is like a statistic that is like kept track of in soccer as like a way to like prove that a team is like doing really, really well, because they just simply will not let the other team have the ball ever. Which is like completely antithesized, is that a word? By like the shot clock rules in basketball and stuff like that. You know, it is what it is. Competition isn't interesting to watch if one side has already decided to win by overwhelming odds. It's true. My point that I'm getting at, though, is, and especially the more that I've played this is very long-winded, but, you know, it was multiple topics rolled into one, but to, like, put a, like, nice little hat on it, it's also kind of why I kind of didn't bother trying to do hard mode tournaments, because once I got back into the real game, not to say hard mode is like less than or anything, right? Because that's how I started running events. That's how I got involved in the scene, was emulator hard mode stuff. Most of the people that watch me joined with DX, but before that, we had like all emulator stuff. Also, I don't know what game that was. Was that game 1? Well, what I'm getting at is I got to a point where I was kind of just like, I would prefer to play the game the way it was built. Bugs and like fucked up balance and all. That was game 2? Okay. So was it 2-0? Battlebug won twice? Okay. Thank you. It's 1-1, right? Damn. Oh, I'm a real professional, folks. I meant to hit no there. Bug wins. Is it 2-0 for Bug? Anyway, we'll just get the next one up and ready to go. Kimchi and heavy whale. Trio now? I gave up there, Goat. I didn't... That wasn't the end of the match. So it's either 1-1 or 2-0. You didn't trust the others? I mean, we could always look it up, right? The thing about this format is that it's pretty nice that, you know, if the scores are wrong or whatever, it doesn't, like, fuck up the rest of the bracket. It does make the opponents you have to fight afterwards a little bit more difficult. No, bug 1, match 1. Okay, and bug 1, match 2. So it's, it was 2-0. You're saying there's 2 games there? That's fine, man. That's enough. Okay, 53% on heavy whale. Damn, big Zilla Rush opener. But anyway, sorry, I fucked everything up. What I was getting at is I kind of like the idea of like playing within the confines of something that exists, and I think it's okay to just like be like, this is imbalanced and like kind of goofy, and it is what it is. I also understand if someone wants to make a balance patch and they want to play like that. That's totally fine as well. He's got a huge guts disadvantage there. I think it's fine balance-wise. It's just, at a certain point, there's not really any... I don't want to say at a certain point there's no point, because that sounds stupid, but that's what I'm trying to say. At a certain point, there's no point to, like, make it any more convoluted. Like, it's already, like, fucked up. We don't need to, like, give someone a move that does, like, 1,000 force, just because they're bad otherwise. Also, heavy whale gonna take that. Holy moly. Even the mons we consider low tier can still win. It's true, it's less often, but it's hype when it happens. Bugtimus Prime and Kid Muscle. Bug Tim? Bug Tim, the Bug Toolman Bug Taylor? Is it a tilde? If we can introduce new text into the game, that would be fun. Like, that stuff is very difficult. At that point, I think you're better off learning how to code a new game. Prediction is live. You're right, and that's probably how that needs to happen. There's certainly no shortage of people who are like, I'm making a Monster Rancher inspired game. Which reminds me, tomorrow we might be checking out a new game. Somebody contacted me and they're like, hey, I'm the dev of this game. You might like it. You want to check it out, yada, yada, yada. And we talked about it a little bit. I haven't looked into it much, so I'm probably going to do a quick little look. 56% on Bugtimus. Yep. Beforehand, because I don't want to play a game I'm not going to like. Because I don't want to waste energy on that in like a selfish sense, but also it's unfair to the person who made the game if I play it and I'm like, I don't like this, you know? I'm not being paid for it, so it's not like I gotta fake my enthusiasm. It's kind of like with Toads of the Bayou. Toads of the Bayou was a game that I was gifted an early copy of. And, you know, I reviewed it for Steam, but, like, I didn't review it on the channel or anything because I thought the art was fantastic and the gameplay was, like, really, really weak. And because of that, I just, you know, I didn't want to be negative about it. This was, like, pre-launch, so every time I, like, loaded up the game, it had, like, a slightly different build, and, like, things were getting incrementally better. But I just, you know... And just another deck-building roguelike. Spinning Horn? That's another crossover tech? No, it's not. It's just a Withering tech. He used it a lot. Mr. Sandman and fill in later. You just rarely see that one? Yeah. Well, Carvin Hanger remind me of Skyrim. I don't know why I said it like that. Mr. Salvador. They remind you of the dwarf robots? Yeah, they do. Kinda. They're not as gold, but I get what you're saying. I really wanted it felt, I think that's one of my biggest gripes with Skyrim, is not being able to have like an automaton controller class, right? They had so much stuff built up to it, and like I feel like it'd be probably pretty easy to implement, you know, not for me to tell devs how to do their job or anything, but like it seemed like everything was in place to have something like that, like a mechanic type class or whatever, and then just nothing. And then I'm sure with the 5 million mods for Skyrim, there's something that lets you do that, but I don't care. I enjoyed Skyrim. People hate it, but I think it's just because of Todd putting it in everything. You can play Skyrim in your Brita filter now. 100% on fill in later? Holy moly. Oops. Tom's the Tank Engine mod cutscene was so funny. The donkey video for it, the Ultimate Skyrim, is still, I think, one of my favorite videos on YouTube. Balance Patch Talk reminded me that Oblivion Remaster is perfect and that it keeps the jank of the original with a modern coat of paint. I love it when games do that. They're like, here's a remaster. Everything's still fucked up. I don't think people take it too seriously. People really like to talk about how it's like fundamentally a bad game. And I feel like when you start like saying stuff like that, you've kind of lost the plot. You're so, I think, concerned with being a critic and like wanting people to see you as like an intelligent consumer, and like you have like better capabilities to like analyze media than most people, that it just like it becomes kind of self-parody, because like it's very obviously like a well-built, strong narrative, interesting mechanics game. Also, holy fuck, dude. Oh. He wanted him dead. What the hell? What a combo. They're right? I don't think they're right. I think you gotta be a little bit stupid to say Skyrim is a bad game. Or you only play, like, you know, visual novels or whatever, and you think you think they're games. Or like idle games or whatever. Manly Oak. There's 2 Manly Oaks. We gotta play the right one. It's this one. Ronaldinho. I think everyone that says Skyrim's a bad game is just mad about all the cut content and glitches. I think a lot of it has to do with just, you know, it's like, we get it, Todd. The game itself became kind of a self-parody. Prediction is live. Still a great game. Yeah, it's like, I'm not a huge Oblivion fan, but it's because I didn't play it when it was new. And a thing that like really bothers me about people's opinions about games, and like this is like, I'm not gonna get in an argument about it on the internet, because, you know, I'm a grown-ass man, but the idea that like, oh, this doesn't hold up because it's like a game theory, and like, not game theory, but like game design has progressed so much beyond this, that this game is no longer good in current year, is like such a myopic and like genuinely kind of like stupid opinion to have. 93% on Manly Oak. like being like sensibilities have changed, so therefore this game doesn't hold up anymore is so insane. You always have to like observe any piece of art or any medium within the zeitgeist that it was built in. Built is probably too much of a utilitarian word, but like you have to like take in consideration the environment and the time period when it came out. Like cave paintings are cool. They don't hold up to modern scrutiny. Okay, probably true, but like you're like genuinely stupid for that opinion. Like you say something like that, you say something to that extent, I feel like also he didn't get the kill. That's crazy. I feel like maybe, you know, you're not intelligent enough to be having this conversation with me. Was that 2-0? He hit him with the electric whips. I don't remember. Did the electric whips kill? Niton. I know he hit the electric whips. Yeah, he won game 1. Okay, thank you. Okay, that's our round 1. We are a third of the way through this. Crit million whips killed the Gaboo. Okay. They did not? Niton. Okay, thank you. Okay, we're into round 2. Hisoka and Bugtimus Prime. I don't know, man. It's a crazy world out there, and we're just living in it, you know? Especially as I've gotten older, I've gotten a lot better at just being like, all right, you're allowed to be like stupid and wrong, and that's fine. I don't care. It is what it is. Prediction is live. And that, like, that's a relatively new thing for me, the, like, just let people be wrong on the internet thing, because, you know, I come from an era of being an extreme, like, music snob on forums, in which case, like, you're never allowed to be wrong about anything. You have to like all the right bands. If you like Trivium, we're gonna bully you for it. That happened a lot. Shout out to everybody who loves Trivium. And so, like, it's only within, like, the last 10 years or so where I'm really, like, it's whatever, man. Who cares? Also, damn, look at the anger. The anger guts. Anger guts? I barely know guts. Anyway, Hisoka gonna take that one. But I saw this opinion on Blue Sky that was, like, that blew my mind. And it was some game dev of some sort talking about how bad of a game Donkey Kong Country 1 was and how it was, like, fundamentally, like, a shitty game. And you gotta think at a certain point people are just saying stuff for the sake of it, right? Like, Donkey Kong Country 1 is a bad game. And then they were just like, yeah, it gets, like, obnoxious and, like, difficult. And there's, like, blind jumps and stuff halfway through the game. And it's like, brother, everybody loves fucking Dark Souls. And that's the same thing, except it also, like, Miyazaki comes to your house and, like, pantses you in front of your girlfriend. Because you decided to enter a room. And you didn't know there was 9 guys in the other room with swords ready to stab you in the dick? Like, sucks to be you. That's that whole game. That's that whole series. It's especially Dark Souls 2. Rambo, Commandu, and Mr. Sandman up next. But it's just like my idea, or like what I'm saying, we're not comparing it to Dark Souls, is that the idea that something can be like a little bit cheeky and like a jump can be like ambiguous or whatever is not like a sin. It's just play the level a second time, dummy. What, you mad you didn't get to finish the whole thing on 1 life? Like, come on. Also, you know, I say this with no, like, pride or any sort of, like, additional, like, trolling or, like, get good type attitude, but I beat Donkey Kong Country 1 when I was 9 years old. So, like, can't be that frustrating. Like, oh no, I had to restart one of the worlds like 5 or 6 times. I remember dying in Vulture Culture over and over again and like finally beating it and losing in the next level. And oh, damn, we got to do the whole world all over again because we didn't get to the save point yet. And that was fine. It was, I don't know. It wasn't a big deal. Maybe we were just built different. But I'm pretty sure the guy who was saying this stuff is like older than me, so I don't know what the deal is. It can be a grind if you're less good. That's by design. And, like, I can understand arguments for, like, making things less ambiguous and arguments for, like, well, you know, not everyone has time to, like, grind something out. But, again, 1991? 1994? Or whatever it was? That's a different era. When games were like you sat down and you played the game and you weren't like, oh, I have to spend 60 hours in this. It's like, no, you can beat this game in half an hour if you're really good. And, you know, if you're not, then you'll beat it over many, many weeks because it's probably the only game you own right now. But, like, I don't know. It feels like contrarian for the sake, like so contrarian that it makes you sound dumb, I think is the point. And it's like, you don't have to just say random shit online. You can, like, you know, be a little bit more thoughtful with your opinions. Good game can be flawed. Nothing's perfect. DKC1 has some stuff that aged design-wise. It's not really a sensible comparison. And even then, like, I think the stuff that, like, aged is, like, not even that bad. Like, whenever people bring it up, it's like, yeah, the barrels in some of the levels are, like, kind of obnoxious. And it's like, okay. That doesn't sound... It sounds like an obstacle course that you're bad at. Like, I don't know what the... Like, what would you say is bad in it design-wise? And this is not me putting you on the spot. I'm not going to be like, you're wrong for this. But, like, I'm kind of having trouble thinking of something off the top of my head that feels, like, very bad. Should I play Metal Warriors online with friends? Honestly, I think it holds up. Metal Warriors is a sick game. That game's got some flaws, but, you know, it's fun regardless. Okay, prediction is live. Who do you guys like? I don't know. I remember, was it like Aaron Hansen or someone talking about how Donkey Kong Country 2 is like such a badly designed game because you can't tell what's platforms and what's not. And that's kind of a problem that like happened in Donkey Kong Country Returns, where like a lot of the platforms in the background look the same. But I can't imagine playing Donkey Kong Country 2 and thinking that's the case. Maybe I don't have like the gene that makes me extremely bad at games. Okay, the Donkey Kong Country 1 bosses are kind of crappy. But for the time, it was hype. Whenever you saw the big banana fall down, it was worth it. Everybody's liking Korra in this one. Yeah, it was very much just like jump on it multiple times, but, you know, everything that exists is a product of everything that came before it. So it's like, you know, it's easy to say like, oh, you could have just come up with something more original, but like, could you have? Especially when, you know, games aren't being made for the sake of art. They're being made to sell copies. They're trying to maximize profits on everything. They do a big banana drop down after each one? Hell yeah. They did, yeah. I don't know. Korra takes a game. I'm not, but like I said, these are all opinions, and I'm mostly not really bothered by anyone who disagrees. It's just, you know, I think at a certain point it's performative. Like, you're trying to get a reaction. It's not something you actually care deeply about, or it is, and, you know, it's based on a half-remembered something or other. I feel like it's fine for platformers to have crappy bosses. A lot of them do. I'm a big Adventure Island fan, and that game has, like, some of the worst bosses that, like, have ever existed in the canon of gaming. Adventure Island 2 specifically. Adventure Island 1 is like a Monster Rancher 1 and Monster Rancher 2 kind of comparison, where 1 is just, like, the same game, but, like, significantly better. Lightning. Saw a vid about how Boom Boom and Mario 3 suck, but I feel like he's just kind of breather to cap off the level. Yeah, and again, if you're like 6 years old, it's really easy to fuck up that fight and die. Oh, is that going to be enough? I don't think it's going to be enough. It's not enough. He hit him, but Korra's going to win it. (2-1) for the Pixie. The Goose. The Goose lose.
I want to play video games.
Yay, Fox the Bomb!
I have been cracked out on Elden Ring, Nitrin since it dropped.
Hell yeah. The game looks fun. I don't know if I'll ever play it. But it does look cool. There's lots of games like that where I'm like, oh, this looks neat. Okay, prediction is live. Play Raider, big Unga Bunga bonk time. I saw that. Raider does look like he would be my character. You can make a big rock come out of the ground. You here? Been watching since DX drop. Nice to catch the stream. Hey, welcome. Yeah, doing a little bit of tournament stuff right now. Talking about video games. And not so much Monster Rancher. There is some Monster Rancher discussion, but it's almost entirely, you know, game dev talk. 86% on strike. And being incredulous that, you know, I got, not argument's the wrong word, but like I saw someone talking about how they thought Donkey Kong Country 1 was like one of the worst games of the era, and how at a certain point you're just like, you're like that meme where you're like, just making sure I don't fit in. It's fine to not like it, but like you're huffed up on goofballs, I think. It's more so that like if you're in game dev and that's the opinion you have, I don't think I would trust your opinions on game dev. Is all I'm gonna say. When people talk about games being bad, they don't talk about actual bad games. They talk about games that are like 8 out of 10, but too many people like them. Or too many people think they're 10 out of 10. That's when they talk about a game being bad. They're not talking about Cheetah Men. They're not talking about that. They're talking about how the Lost Levels is like not great. Someone being pedantic with rhetoric that doesn't actually say or mean anything? Yes, sir. How's everyone doing? Doing good, man. How you been? Yeah, you should talk about Cheetah Men. I've played every game on Action 52. My roommate and I originally were going to do like a YouTube series about it. This was like 2011, where we played through every NES game, and then the final episode was going to be playing through all the Action 52 games. And then we're like, oh, I think as we started doing that, someone else was like uploading the exact same way. And we're like, all right, that's we can't do this anymore. Okay, I missed who won that one. I saw the Roll Assault hit. Was that a Mochi win? Trinari's Hopper, any helpful advice? You can kind of get by. It's going to be hard until you're at B rank. So what you want to do is you want to do mostly just pull drills. You can get by if you do like pull drill rest over and over again, and go and get jump blow or flick, and then start grind in tournaments to do try to get as many uses of jump blow or flick as you can. Because once you're at 50, you unlock the next one in the chain. And rapid flick and 2 jump blows are like kind of your go-tos for damage. Shrike one? Okay, thank you. As a person that raised Cora, I had to watch back. She lost 1-2. Did a 4th match? Oh no. Oh, I'm sorry. Shrike and the Joker, baby. Shrike wins that one. 2-1. Okay. Spot Trick and Knee up next. Something like Bubsy 3D is real close to that title. I think, you know, nostalgia is very powerful, and you forget all the like awful stuff unless it's like awful in a funny way, and you only remember the good times you had. But I don't know. I think people they like attribute more to that than they should. Because it's like, oh, you just like that because, you know, you were 8 years old when you played it. There's certainly some of that. Prediction is live. There's a lot of platformers that I endured because I was just a kid. Tons of NES games. I remember loving Donkey Kong Jr. I would never, like, willingly spend time playing Donkey Kong Jr. ever again. I'd rather have integrity about it. Thank you. I mean, someone else would notice and they'd make me change it anyway. So it's cool that you did it first before, you know, it became a thing later. Makes you wonder if anyone had fun times something like Silver Surfer. Another like game that is bad, but 65%. This is not, it's not bad in like actually it's really good. I'm not here to defend it. But it's bad because it was one of the first like really bad licensed games. It's still better than like, I want to say it's got to be like 50th percentile for NES games. Right, like it's a lot of dog shit on the NES. Love Monster Seeds as a kid. People talk about it all the time. Tim Fallen's tunes help there. I found out recently, and you know, this is not a mark against Tim Fallen specifically, but a lot of the songs that, or like a good portion of the songs that he is credited with writing, he didn't actually write, and lots of stuff got misattributed to him. So there's like tons of bangers out there that are like not him, but people are like, oh, he did that. And it's kind of crazy to me. But not really, because, you know, credit back then was very rare. Especially in like Japanese games where, you know, people didn't even go into the credits with their own names because companies were so afraid of headhunting and like poaching. Okay, so Spodrick up 1-0, I'm pretty sure, right? Or his brother. Either way, the game is super rocking tunes for sure. Played all Digimon games. I'm familiar with liking games that 1-1? Really? Holy shit, I'm not paying any attention. Okay, thank you. So this game matters then. This is it. This is it. Knee getting away again. He's playing like a runaway game. A runaway game. Or something. He did that with Spit in the other set. Digimon games are certainly interesting. I don't like 3. I've played 1 very, very sparingly, to the point where I don't really have an opinion on it. And I have played a ton of 2. 2 is when I think about like what it's capable of, in a theoretical sense, it's one of my favorite games of all time. I love so many things about it, and it is held together with glue and staples and the stubbornness of the player. Prediction is live. We were playing it on stream. I think I might still have... Hold on. Do I still have it here? Is this the same scene? It's the same scene. No AV. Where'd they go? Oh, I moved the image. But we did a Nuzlocke of it, which was like really intense. And would have added like, I want to say, another 150 hours to the game. But I was playing at 8 times speed, and it was still like 5 or 6 streams. And then we got to like the last area, and then I just stopped playing because I didn't want to grind anymore. 91% on root beer. Grind can hurt if things go wrong. Yeah. Again, that's like a pacing issue, but I don't think it's a gameplay issue specifically. I feel like it's pretty easy with like modern tools and stuff to like get around that and like have an enjoyable experience with the game. But the pacing is definitely fucked up. Susie wins it. Everything in the game is so slow. Fights are so slow. You pick your 3 attacks and then it's like, all right, now I gotta wait 9 years for this shit to animate. It is kind of funny now that I've played Dragon Quest Monsters how much Digimon World 2 aped from Dragon Warrior Monsters though. Takes 2 minutes for a fast fight to conclude. Yeah, including like 25 seconds for it to like do the little spin around the room and show you. Root beer gonna take it. Root beer is the winner. That was game 2, right? I swear I'm gonna get back in the swing of things and I'll start actually paying attention to the matches, but we're not there yet. Doing the 5. It's 1-1. Okay. I'll just throw out a score and then someone will correct me, and that's beautiful. I love that about the internet. We are distracted. We are. We're just chilling. We're having a good time. We're hanging out with my family, having ourselves a party. GOLEM are not in sight.
Cyclone safety protocol activated.
Holy moly. Yeah, no golems in this, eh? Tail swing, giant whip. Root beer's got 2 seconds to make something happen, and the clock is gonna get run out. Susie, a lot of self-damage on that, but wasn't enough. Doesn't help him also raising a worm. How dare you not be like glued to your computer screen? I paid out the wrong people. I'm sorry. Though if it makes anyone feel better, I made a mistake there, but almost nobody lost anything. Only one person bet. I'm sorry, Jetstream. I owe you 2,600 coins. Or disc chips or whatever. Susie wins it. Hinwood and Lil Bugger up next. GG's chips, yeah. Just tuning in, hoping Sloptire goes 3-0. He's got 1 win, I do believe. Yeah, he won his first one. Okay, predictions live. Who do you guys like? So I found you because of your YouTube series and became a fan of content. Thank you. Yeah, we got a new episode coming out this month. I don't know who it's on yet. I'm gonna be honest. This is the first time in like a long time I don't have a script written ahead of time. I don't have like no ideas for like what monster to make it on. 60% on Little Bugger, and I'm probably just gonna look at all the monsters that are left and pick the one with the least amount of text that I gotta talk about, and we'll go from there. Or maybe an idea will come to me about what is oh my god, he's gonna beat his ass, look at that. Or something that's like, I don't know. If I come up with like a good thesis, we'll get something. Who do I have left that I'm like really interested in doing right now? Mew is interesting. Mew's got a lot of text. Duckin could be interesting, but I'm putting out a video on Duckin like right now, as it is. That's not a Rancher rundown. Another death thrust. Holy shit! 1 second left. Can he do it? Oh, he swung. I crit would have killed. He tried his best, man. He did what he could. What are you gonna do? He tried. He certainly did. Yeah. Hinwood gonna take that one 2-0. Slop Tart and Bat and Bug up next. Okay, prediction is live. I will say, with like, it's not that I've been like at a standstill for like lack of stuff to do recently, but it has been kind of nice not doing a ton of work on video stuff lately or stream stuff. I do enjoy it still, but it was nice to like take a break and be like, all right, I got to get ready for Combo Breaker, do all that stuff, which was like really intense time-wise. Like I didn't have nearly enough time to get everything done. But we managed. Macho and I putting the booklets together in the hotel room the night before, doing everything we could. 57% on Bat and Bug. Just like focusing on like running a tournament basically was like really cool, because it's been a while since I've had to do that, like outside of like an online environment. And then you know, coming back and getting back into boxing and all that, it's been nice. But I do want to like start putting out more video stuff again. Another Spiral Rush, you gotta take it. When you can't dodge, it's kind of tough. Game number 2, here we go. I don't think Spiral Rush is like a good opener though. Man, he loves that move. Look at that, down into the green. Okay, a single Pierce crit puts him in the yellow. No power proc, so he will not get power, but the Spiral Rush crit hits. That's it, man. That's it. It's a gay bomb, baby. 2-0. Beef Tank and Heavy Whale. These are both all caps. All caps, no breaks. Love gay bombs. You guys have seen the Alex Jones Chemtrails video set to the DuckTales theme. That's a classic. Chemtrails. Woo! It's a gay bomb, baby. That should get stuck in my head. It's so good. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Kind of like them putting chemicals in the water. That's part of it. Okay, we're gonna watch this real quick. This video is almost 10 years old. We got the Ultimate Brother. Let's see, is this even gonna work?
Solve a mystery or rewrite history.
Chemtrails. Resistance to tyrants is obedience to God. Chemtrails. Gay bomb.
Yep, that's it.
That's it.
Chemtrails. They got stuff that'll turn the freaking frogs gay. Then again, you say, freaking God's gay. Gay bomb. It's a gay bomb, baby. Chemtrails.
That's it.
That's it. They got stuff. Turn the frickin' frogs gay. Then you say, frickin' God's gay. Anyway, look at this shit. This is gonna be a fight. This is what to see when you're high out of your mind. That video is like almost 10 years old. Okay, predictions live. Who do you guys like? Quite similar builds. Beef tank with the 1 extra intelligence. Gonna make all the difference. Hell yeah, brother. We got stuff to turn the freaking frogs gay. It's good. It's catchy. 60% on heavy whale. Alright. Beef tank, dodging everything. Heavy whale, dodging everything. Nobody wants to get hit. Why must we fight, brother? I see now it is not the circumstances of one's birth that, you know, something who they are. Whatever. I haven't watched the Pokemon movie in forever. I remember even as a kid being mad when they make the Minnesota Vikings joke. I was like, that's stupid. That's a stupid joke, Ash. Catch 'em. How do you even know what Minnesota is? Zilla Rush, big... Holy fuck. Now, you will forgive me for not knowing who won game 1. I'm pretty sure that's a 2-0. Zilla wins, either way. Thought the Vikings joke was funny. I hated it. Robot Hot and Ronaldinho. Like the Viking joke? I mean, it's not something you need to have a strong opinion about. Ronaldinho. It really isn't, yeah. Oh, okay. Predictions live. Who do you guys like? Man, I tweaked my back boxing today, and I didn't feel it at all until, you know, I got home and I, like, showered and lay down on the couch for a little bit. Oh, I really hope tomorrow at work I'm, like, I gotta do, like, a lot of, like, heavy labor for, like, the first hour in the morning at, like, 7 a.m. And then nothing else for the rest of the day. So I just really hope, you know, I got people to help me. 90% on Robot Hot. I like a lot of what they did with the dialogue in the English dub. Made the movie make more sense. Did it not make sense in the Japanese version? Damn, Spike Shell. Spike Shell pretty good. And the laser cutter, holy moly. Big million whips miss. Electric whip miss. Numbing whip hits, big damage on that, but can't dodge. Punch not the play here. You got laser cutter out, brother. Meow. Got him. Game 3, here we go. Ever watch the commentary? They talk about a lot of the changes that were made. That's interesting. That's how Nighton do. Sometimes Nighton do, and sometimes Nighton don't. Do what Nintendo don't, for sure. Ronaldinho winning that one 2-1. Big Graham and Charybdis up next. Even commissioned a lot of the OST Japanese version was silent with no music. That's crazy. What? They didn't get M2M's Don't Say You Love Me? Inferior movie. I am a big fan of how there's like 10 songs just in the credits that play for 10 seconds, just back to back. So they could sell a CD that said music from the motion picture on it. Prediction is live. And all that music was like literally in the last 10 seconds of the movie during the credits. Today I learned about the chemtrails video. The other day I learned about Price Master. Hell yeah. That's why we're here, to learn. A random question. Some months ago you shared Scott Steiner's math promo sacrifice video, and then recently I shared it with a friend and he liked it. Remember there was a second one about butter or something? That's close. The cream always rises to the top by Randy Savage is what you're thinking of. There was no butter. But, you know, memory is a fickle thing, and that's pretty close. 93% on Big Graham. CGI was also apparently released with the Western, improved with the Western release. That's interesting. All I remember from the CGI is when they when Team Rocket's looking at the like silhouettes of the Pokemon and they get the one wrong, where they see like Scyther and say Snorlax or something. I don't remember what it is. It's Borlax, you idiot. What Pokemon did they get wrong? Oh, big damage. Look at that. Ice Wave is such a sick. They say Alakazam. Okay. For the Scyther, right? Yeah. Damn, the double snowstorm. He's gonna take it. It's not Snorlax, it's named Borlax. You know shit about Pokemon. Shut up, he's stronger than you. Dude, I love that video so much. Oh, that's not a Pokemon, that's a Chinese myth dragon. When Dragonair shows up on the screen, it's so good, man. El Tigre Loco and tongue slapping. I watched almost all your vids. I remember something about 99 power being the same as 951. That's why it's still 999. Am I crazy? So you're right. But in this version of the game, stats are like measured differently. This is on the Switch and Steam port, which is called Monster Rancher DX. And it changes how the math works on it. So 950 is no longer the cap. But on the original PS1, 950 is the cap. You're right about that. Okay, prediction is live. Who do you guys like? That's from Henry Shaw's textbook, yeah. Dude, that video is so good. We're not going to watch that one on stream too, but that video is so funny. It's Borlax, it's Snorlax, idiot. %82% on an El Tigre. DX stuff, yep. The double spit, that's not what we want to see. Oh, the big chewing, he was just softening him up. You got him. Game number 2. Jumping chop miss. Tongue slap into chewing, that's a lot of guts down. Like for himself. The chop almost killed? Chop combo. The big miss. Oh, the power tongue slap. Oh my god, he's still in it though. Holy cow, El Tigre does not want to go down. It's Goo Night. Because it's Goo Night. He gets him. Game number 3, here we go. Jump and chop miss. Chop miss. Gets him with the bite right on the nose. Right on the little button nose. Little snowman nose. Another bite. God damn, dude. He did big chewing and then he did little chewing. Beat his ass. What the hell? Poor guy. Alright, we got Async and Wham Shell up next. I'm a huge chewing fan as well. I love how in Monster Rancher 1 it's just called Eat. Okay, prediction is live. Who do you guys like? I thought it was called Chow Down. I think that's in the later games. It might be called Chow Down in Monster Rancher 1 as well, but the Japanese name for it is Eat. I was pretty sure it was the same in Monster Rancher 1. 59% on the crab. The hidden sting? Oh, he doesn't do the combo. So those are eaten tonight? They are. Monster Rancher 1 English is Chow Down? Okay. Oh, the sting slash kill? He grits it though. Damn, big kill. Big kill. He was close. Almost had it. That reminds me, I got a Monster Rancher 1 tournament to upload from last year. And then I was looking at the, and you know, this is... I don't know. No, you know what? I'm not going to explain what I was about to say. But I do have Monster Rancher 1 VOD up, like in, whatever you call it, in the archives. But I found it like in my recordings. So that'll be up soon-ish. Ever find the VOD for the first Monster Rancher tourney? I did not, but I might have it somewhere. I have like a lot of VODs saved. I have something like 20 terabytes of saved footage right now. Power claw pinch? Oh, that bird's exploded. Holy. Well, Crab's gonna take it. That is certainly a way to do it. Money for nothing and your chicks for free. Primus and 3 times Pimpy, so it comes down to this. Okay, predictions live. Here you go. That was a gross finish. But yeah, we got a Monster Rancher 1 tournament. I'll probably just upload the others as like a Monday Monster Madness type thing. But it was just like a regular lightweight, a regular heavyweight, welterweight, middleweight. Just for, you know, posterity's sake. And then we have the Monster Rancher 3 tournament, and then the UKMR tournament that ran. There's a lot of fun stuff we did last summer. And fall. That took like 4 months, but that was us before we got into DXBL4. 67% on Primus. Damn, big horn attack. Big charge. Diving press miss. Oh, this is my boy, I forgot. No! Get back up, buddy. Yeah, there you go. Okay, you only got to hit a charge to win this. Crit bite will do it too. Alright, you're out of there. Yeah, it wasn't enough. Okay, I lied. It might have been a damage roll. You did both. I'll take both. I'll take both. Easy win for Primus. Oh, and you look stupid now. Game number 2. Here we go. No! Alright. Don't worry about it. Shake it off, brother. Okay. Can we grit? Okay. Game number 3. Here we go. He has not landed a diving press. He's due for one. He gets it. GG's. Pew, 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 pew. From the top rope. He does it. Here comes the press for game 3. You called it. From your mouth to God's ear, brother. Pimpy with the 2-1. Razor Leaf and Metal Aim are up next. Only in Monster Rancher 2, baby. That is true. Mesa-Lamer. Mesa-Lamer. A little Jar Jar Binka going on here. Okay, prediction is live. I haven't seen episode 1 since I was a kid, and I've heard like a lot, like in the last, 20 years, of how Jar Jar Binks is a racist caricature. And I'm gonna be honest, I'm afraid to ask of what. Because it's like, I don't know what it's supposed to be a caricature of, and I think me assuming it's any given like subset of people is in itself racist. So we're just not gonna pretend. It's just I don't know. 66% on Razor Leaf. Here we go. Spin kick, big damage towards Gungans. The double spin kick. Holy moly. Goongas. I think that's what he calls them in the behind the scenes, which I only know from the Red Letter Media review. Ooh, the weapon. See a 99 miss? Probably, because he's a tank. So if it missed, you saw it. I was reading chat. I was reading about Gungans. He hits the spin kick. Who's got the better spin kick? In this match, it's Razor Leaf. Game number 3. Here we go. Hard straight. Not so hard if you're a big tanky boy. Punch. Spin kick doing pretty good damage. Metal Lamer in a good spot. Spin kick of his own? It's not as interesting. Oh, he crits, but he's still hanging in there. He's got so much guts. Don't use it on weapon throw, brother. Misses another spin kick at 70. That's crazy. Razor Leaf getting out of the way of everything. He's saying, you want to dodge at 99? I'm going to dodge everything else. Doesn't have enough guts. Can't make it happen. Razor Leaf wins that one 2-1. Yeah, the natural grit. One life in a dream. Couldn't make it happen, though. Jamlord and Tsukiko up next. We're almost done round 2. And then we got one more round, and then that's it. And we see what everyone's scores are. I continue my streak of, like, not advancing and not being demoted. By having 1 win and 1 loss. Okay. Prediction is live. Who do you guys like? I believe he reminds some Rastas. Like the hair swimmer thing. Like, thinks that his head. Are they supposed to be like dreadlocks? We've been zooming by on these. It's been going pretty quick. We're 2 hours into it, though. 51% on Tsukiko. Pretty evenly split. Spiritual rematch. He only has to fight Pink Jams today. Ooh, turn claws miss. Turn claws. Oh, dodges it through the foolery. That's crazy. He's got the cube. You got 90 guts to move your cube. Misses twice in a row, but he can keep swinging. Goes for suffocation. That's almost a cube. Just a little bit rounder. Slash claw miss. Tsukiko with a very slight lead right now. Goes for the thrust claw. It's gonna run out the clock. He's gonna win game number 1 by exactly 10%. Look at that. Want a really big stretch here? That's what I'm saying. I don't want to assume because I feel like that's racist. Not saying you're racist, but you know what I mean. Hey, bud. Finally caught a live video. I've been watching a lot of my vids lately. Got DX1 and 2 on my phone. Played this game when it first came out. Hell yeah. Oh, yeah, by the way, if you, like, watch and you're like, I'm on the fence about getting the game or whatever, it's on sale right now. It's, like, only $10 or something. We're going to game 2. It's, like, 35% off. It's on sale of some sort. Big weep. Oh, and the Pierce, he gets the grit though. He's still chilling. Another Pierce? Alright, stay down. I mean, you euthanize the cat, but he gets back up. Got him with the spike through the brain. Anton Chigurh style. I guess they're not using like the cattle gun. They're using it's like an air cannon. 35% off, $19. Not too shab. Pretty nice. Tsukiko struggling a little bit, but doing okay. Kimchi and Rise and Grind. He's had to fight 2 really strong opponents. Risen. He is risen. Never beat it as a kid, only made it to S, but watching when your vids finally helped me beat it, part 2, hell yeah. Yeah, it's... There's a lot going on under the hood in this game. Prediction is live. And then it just takes a little bit of like a want to know more to like be able to like blow it wide open. $19 for the 2 best games of all time. Pretty good. Pretty good. Indeed. I think so. Should I have real money option bet? No. You're saying we should be a gambling stream. I'm not on kick. 53% on Rise and Grind. Dude, the death thrusts have been hitting all day. This is crazy. You know how fucked up my chat would be if we were like putting real money on this? People would be just losing their minds. It would be great for viewership. Give people something to bet real money on. I would be fucking swimming in it, but I don't know. There's no internet to learn from 30 years ago. I mean, there was, but most people were lying to you. All the guides were like complete dog ass. Alright. That was certainly something. Anyone missed a bunch of them? He also landed quite a few. You can't be like, oh, he missed, so it doesn't count, because he still landed them. How would currency even affect betting here? Yeah, I'm not opening up a currency exchange. Manly Oak and Sensui up next. I think it could be a funny thing to do in person at an event like Combo Breaker or whatever, where you like, you know, you make some bets before the tournament, but like nothing bigger than a couple of dollars. Okay, prediction is live. Also, I just got really hungry all of a sudden. And I feel like I don't need to eat more today. I've like really stagnated on my weight loss. Which I think is okay because I'm down 25 pounds from the beginning of the year. But like I hit like 172 and I've just kind of been stuck. I haven't been able to like get below 172. I've been fluctuating. I mean, Combo Breaker didn't help. I had like almost a full week of like eating shit and like not doing any exercise beyond walking. 79% on Manly Oak. We got Gaboo fight. See some powder. But today I ordered like a 2-for-1 thing on Uber Eats, and it was like 2 burgers, and then I ate both the burgers. So I feel like I shouldn't have like another snack before bed. Also, the burgers like weren't that good. They were pretty flavorless. It was upsetting. Damn, Manly Oak with the big straight punch. Look at that. But yeah, I think my goal eventually is to get down to a 160 fight weight, which would put me in middleweight. I think that's the goal. It's heavier than what I fought at when I was in high school, but, you know, I am not high school sized anymore. I don't think it's realistic for me to get down to 145. There we go. All right. Manly Oak wins that one 2-0. Pretty quick. Prezioso and Kid Muscle up next. First internet interaction was on 2006 from 99 Monster Rancher Forum. Dial-up internet. They taught me what monsters were in some CDs. Hell yeah. Being 5'9" around 135 in high school will never happen again? No, it will not. I'm fine with that, though. I, like, you know, my musculature and then, like, just even, like, my rib cage and my shoulders and stuff are, like, not significantly broader than they were when I was, like, you know, actively training. Prediction is live. But they were... There's certainly a difference. Especially, like, in my chest. So it's, you know... I think 160 is, like, already going to be very, very difficult, and I'm totally fine with that. I think I wouldn't want to go any lower even if I could. People are liking Kid Muscle in this one. Let's go. He doesn't have hook, which is interesting. 1-2 jump blow, big opener. Left jab not going to do any damage. Mystic punch, quite a bit more. Flick combo, miss at 62, but look how fast that guts regens. He's back in it. Hopper combo, miss. Whatever, I'll just throw 44 guts away. It don't matter. None of this matters. Hits the jab. Gives him power. What do we got? Flick combo, 55. It misses. Kid Muscle's got a shot here. Power Mystic Punch. 999 damage to a Tang. Holy shit, dude. That's so much damage. Beat his ass. Played a couple months before 1 came out. And you just kept killing your monsters. You played the game before 1 came out? Wrote that about 4 times over. Yeah, he was super dead. Used to work with a guy who did fighting. Not sure what weight category you would be under. Well, how much do you weigh? I guess that's, you know, your own business. I'm not trying to air you out or anything. Prezio, Kid Muscle. Kid Muscle wins that one too. Oh, Okani Kane Jr. and fill in later for our last match of round 2. I got a computer when I was in middle school as well, but didn't have enough AOL discs. I feel that. We had 3Web, which was very AOL-like. And yeah, I only got it after my dad had had his business for a little while. Okay, prediction is live. I've told the story before, but my dad, you know, when we were growing up, we were like kind of poor. And then my dad started a business, and you know, we were pretty significantly better off for a little while. And my dad's like, we got money, so let's splurge on some stuff. We got internet for the first time. This would have been 2001, 2002, something like that. And we got a satellite TV, and everything was hunky-dory. And I just remember getting YTV, which was you know, our kind of Cartoon Network up in Canada, for the first time, and just being so jazzed. And then we only had it for 3 years, and then, you know, things happen with businesses. There's people who are untrustworthy and this and that, and, you know, not to get into the nitty gritty of it, but we went back to being poor. 57% on fill in later. Did I watch hockey when I was a kid? Yeah, I did. It wasn't actually until I moved to the city that I kind of stopped watching hockey, because my friend group changed pretty dramatically, and I went from you know, doing sports to focusing on music. can look it up. It's not something I know a lot about, so I don't know if there are many different types of professional fighting, and those could all have their own rules. They do. It depends on like what you're talking about. Like MMA only has a couple of weight classes. Boxing has many. It's like every 7 pounds or something like that is a different weight class. Claw pinch, big miss. I think 118 is flyweight, and that's like the lightest for men. And then it goes up from there till, is it 220 for super heavyweight? 126? That's like, is that bantamweight or like super lightweight? No, it wouldn't be super lightweight. I think that's featherweight, maybe? Is 126? I think featherweight stops at 128. What it's like to grow up poor. I had a job since I was 11 to buy my own school clothes. I feel you, man. My parents were really good with like making sure we didn't feel poor, but like there's only so much you can do. Question from an uneducated POV: is that too many weight classes? I don't think so. I think you need the differentiation. The thing is, lots of like elite boxers can just, you know, compete in different weight classes and like run the whole thing, and that's, I think, fine, because it's not like, how do I say this? The reason you wouldn't want so many segregated weight classes is if it limits competition, where it's like, oh, you're the best in this weight class, but like nobody else really fights in this weight class. So, you know, like you're champion, but you're champion of nothing, right? But we see weight class movement all the time from people where they'll go up to the next one or they'll drop one. Dropping is more rare. That's usually, you know, if you're being challenged. But I think it's fine. Prediction is live. Yeah, so like I've talked about how poor I was growing up, and a lot of this is not as bad as it sounds because it's where I grew up. But like I didn't have indoor plumbing growing up. We had all of our water off of a well. We weren't attached to the town well. My toilet was not like a regular flush toilet. It's like a composting toilet, which is a huge pain because basically you have to like manually empty it out. It's filled with peat moss, and you like turn a drum to like mix in the waste with the peat moss, and then you have to like take it out and like dump it. It's just like a whole fucking process. It's unbelievably gross. But like we didn't have running water in a sense that it was attached to the town water. Everything came off of like a pump in the well we had. 100% on knee. And so a toilet was not conducive to that because we just simply did not have enough water available. I lived near a lake. Like I had a property that backed onto a lake. So it was like, there was times where it's like, oh, it hasn't rained in like 12 days. And it's been like 40 degrees Celsius, so like 100 Fahrenheit. So like we don't have any water for dishes or showering or whatever. So you go down to the lake and you would shower, and you would like get like water that you would like put in like a big like Culligan or like refillable bottle of water, and then you would use that. But you know, it's not the end of the world. And like I said, that's not specifically because of how poor I was or anything like that. Like I had friends who had like way less money than me. And I always had a Christmas, and I always had all of this stuff. Like, you know, my parents did very well by my sister and I at the cost of like, you know, foregoing things themselves. So we didn't feel poor until, you know, we were a little bit older and you realize you don't have the money. But, you know, it was sacrifices on their part. All right, 2-0 for knee. So knee goes through this bracket, winning the whole thing. Rambo, Commandu, and Susie times 3. In Alaska, we had a large drum that collected rainwater fed into the house filtration water. I can't remember how the plumbing worked for sewage, though. It definitely wasn't any city-connected water. I feel that. I feel that more than most people. So on one of my vids, you said you couldn't pursue boxing because of, like, bad headaches or something. Yeah, so I mean, it hasn't really improved, but I have gone to like a lot of specialists and stuff in the last couple of years and gotten meds and things like that for my migraines, and they've been like really sparse for, I want to say, the last year and a half. Prediction is live. And so I don't know if it's just boxing has like actually made them better, like the higher physical activity, the weight loss, all that has like helped them out. I don't know if it's like a psychosomatic thing where it's like I've gotten everything tested and they're like, yeah, you don't have like a tumor, you have 20/20 vision, it's none of that. But yeah, I've been feeling a lot better the last couple of years. 67% on Susie. I still get like migraines pretty quick. Like if I'm sparring and I get like tapped a little bit harder than I should, like I feel it like an hour later. But you know, it's okay. It's not too bad. Big face attack, chop combo, big miss. Holy moly. Into the kamikaze. Susie gonna take it. Yeah. I don't know. My parents did right by us, though. It's so funny thinking about it, because like my parents bought their property, which is 27 acres of property, for 18 grand in the year 1988 or whatever it was when they bought it. And you know, it was all like uncleared, and they had to like cut down a bunch of trees and shit. Damn. Beat his ass. Holy moly. But like the property backs onto a lake. It's like 550 feet of like waterfront on the property, 18 grand. So like, you know, the property is now worth about, I don't know, like $500,000, maybe a little bit less than that. But like, it's a pretty good investment. My parents would never sell it though, and they'd probably come back like from the grave and like haunt me if I were to ever sell it. So I don't think I'll be selling it. I just gotta figure out what I want to do with the property. Conversation for my sister and I, because I think we're on the same page about it. We would love to keep it and do something with it, but do they have running water now? No, but the situation is a little bit better. It's still the same, but now they have an incineration toilet, which is like significantly more expensive, but like the tech didn't exist back then. And what it literally does is, if you guys have seen like the bit about like the hell toilet or whatever, it's like a TikTok, but basically you do your business and then it gets dropped into like an incineration chamber, and it's like it evaporates all of the liquid and everything else gets turned to like a tiny bit of ash. Is it in a good hunting area? No, not really. It's also like residential, so residential in the sense that like I have neighbors on both sides. It's not like I probably could, but no, the mountain takes up too much of the property. Raise horses. 100% on Shrike. Damn. It was completely random, unrelated question. Have you messed with Reloaded 2 and gotten hard mode to work? If so, do you have any plans of doing a tutorial for folks to upload to YouTube? No, I have not. I haven't done like any mods for this. Also, slash combo, pretty good. Giant whip, big miss. Kamikaze, big hit. Holy. The Deathbringer. Bad Bug in a real good spot here. Gonna be hard to lose this, but slash combo is the great equalizer. Kamikaze equalizing that though. We're going to game 3. It's 1-all. Raise my first monster rancher. My first mon for lightweight. It's a kaiju. However, I will need to raise a lightweight monster rancher 2 mon, which I also have not done. Damn, crazy. Slash combo too good. Not sure the laws there in Texas. All you need is 10 acres to shoot and hunt on. I assume it's very different here. If I had to guess. Canada is like, we have our own contingent of like, you'll never take our guns type people, but it's literally hunters. It's not, you know, people with like 40 handguns pretending that like they want them for anything other than to like accidentally shoot their child one night when it falls out of the closet drawer or whatever. All right, here we go. Prediction is live. Tend to stick to mixed attackers and heavyweight. Oh, okay. Yeah, because I was going to say, you've been part of the scene so long, and you never raised a lightweight. That's kind of interesting to me. All right, what do we got? 81% on Hinwood. Death thrust again? Jesus. It's been landing. You need 40 handguns for self-defense. Hang them off in body in various places. That's some body armor. Damn. I mean, no one would fuck with you. It's true. It's funny because, like, even it doesn't really matter what my plans are. I have to talk to my sister about it because my parents, you know, they've been very fair our whole lives. Everything is going to be, like, split 50-50 between my sister and I. It's not like someone's going to get the property and someone else is going to get, like, this. It's being, no, you guys figure this shit out. I doubt my parents are going to write a will. So it's just, you know, going to be inherited by us 50-50 and we'll just agree on it, and it is what it is. Okay. So the first death thrust, was it a kill? He got grit, and then that was that. Or did the whale do anything? That's 2-0, right? He lost? He grit and came back, okay. Right. The double death thrust? He's going for it. Maybe it would make, like, I don't know, like camps on it or something. I don't like the idea of other people using it. It's such a nice property. I would love to just, like, have it. Damn, big charge? Another death thrust? That was the play. That was absolutely 100% the right play. Just swing it and hope. The whale's gonna take it. Whale went a little nutty today. Heavy whale wins that one 2-1. Gulag and Ronaldinho. Summer home? I'd probably rebuild the whole home, though. Or at least, like, you know, put some... a better foundation in or something. Our home is... Or, like, the home I grew up in was 100% just built by my dad and his friends. My dad, was not, he had done some carpentry work, but like he's not a carpenter. He's just more of like a general handyman kind of guy. And prediction is live. But like as a career, he did like a million different things. He was a firefighter. The main thing he did when I was growing up was he was in scaffolding. And that's what his company was. He like had a scaffolding company and rented scaffolding equipment and stuff like that. All your mods have gone 2-1. That's pretty sick, though. Have 15 firearms. They're all locked in a safe for safe area, and my children are all well educated on weapon safety. Instructor for a bit in the Marine Corps. I'm not really against guns. I think the idea that, like, the right wing has that the left wing is, like, afraid of guns is, like, mostly, like, just a made-up thing. Liberals hate guns. 100% on Ronaldinho. God damn, big fucking move. He's been killing everyone with that. He was stuck in scaffolding. Yeah. I got nothing against guns inherently. I do think, you know, we need better laws around them. I do think the whole, like, school shootings are an inevitability that we have to deal with type is just, like, nonsense from, like, the dumbest and weakest minds in the history of the planet. But I'm not inherently against them. He's been fucking people up with that. Holy shit, dude. He's not even my boy, but I am a Snail fan. Sensui and Okani Kani Jr. Goal. Goal. It's not Ronaldo. He can't do the bah thing. The like world's worst no, whoops. World's worst pop-off. Now Ronaldinho's gone 3-0. Yeah, he's killing it. Spider's telling me just entered him, not expecting much. Yeah, he did good. I mean, Violent Shell landing like every single time definitely makes it hard to lose. As that match came up and the match ended, I said, "Are you not entertained?" Damn. Well, are you? Okay, prediction is live. Having grit doesn't matter if you give your opponent a chance to swing. It's true. Okay, who do we got? 78% on Akane Kane Jr. Ooh, the long punch miss. Alright, well. Goddamn, dude. Game number 2. The slap miss. Ooh, the slap, the slap. The punch. Oh my god, dude. You're so behind. It's yeah, YouTube is kind of fucked up. It's something I want to get fixed at some point, but like it's like a good like 15 seconds behind. Even though it shouldn't be, there's nothing that's causing it to have that latency. Oh, you don't have enough hours in the game. Okay, my bad. I mean, it's pretty easy to learn, I think. This is not like this is a game where like legacy knowledge is like really important, and anybody who's played any Monster Rancher game could go play any other Monster Rancher game they've never played before and like probably do pretty well. But it's not hard to learn. It's not hard to catch up. Prediction is live. I think that's where you would like really be able to tell if someone like knew a lot about the franchise, is if they can like pop into a game they've never played before and like kind of roll it. I think you're just 20-30 seconds behind live. Yeah, I don't know, man. And it's been getting worse. I think it's Restream. I really got to stop using it. Because at one point it was like 10 seconds behind and I was like, that's unacceptable. And now it's like, I don't know. It sucks. There's like better free alternatives. I just need to like get off my ass and implement them. For this thing I do that like costs me money. I need to like more. I need to optimize the thing that's like cost me money to do. I do it for the fans, you know. Slash claw. Damn, that was a lot of damage. What the hell? Hopper combo gonna finish him off though. Look at that. Again with the Dempsey roll. Game number 2. Here we go. Turn Claw, big damage. Drill Claw, big damage. He is a tank, which is why, you know, they're kind of falling off him. Oh my god, the flick combo. The Hopper wins. Tsukiko, kind of an unfortunate tournament run, but he was doing good in like every match. Metal Lamer and Kimchi up next. Probably me heading to bed. Catch you later. Hey, thanks for tuning in. Yeah, it's getting a little bit late. I'm excited we're gonna be ending early though, because I gotta get up at 6 a.m. tomorrow. So I'm like, if I go to bed right now, I'll get 7 hours of sleep. Prediction is live. So I am already kind of biting it. It's probably about half an hour till we're done. Another half an hour till I'm asleep. %68% on Metal Lamer. This has been a fun tournament though. Been a lot of sick matches. It's been good chat, good banter. Talking about a lot of fun stuff. Being poor. Oh, Curse Dance! I think that's the first time it's landed today. It doesn't kill. Kick is probably the play. Oh, fuck, okay. Holy shit, dude. Oh my god. The big hook. The big hook. He got no guts left, but pretty good use of the guts. Oh my god, spin kick almost kills? He misses. Power right jab, that'll do it. 300 damage. He's got the grit. You got the grit. Another spin kick. Oh, the grit's gonna take it. Metal Lamer with a hell of a win. There we go. Next up, we got 3 times Pimpy and Async. Me and JP. Yeah, you know me. Async, probably my second favorite boy band. Okay. Prediction is live. Who do you guys like? Kimchi's a great name. That boy does look like Kimchi. What do we got on this? 99% on 3 times Pimpy. People love the boy. We love our boy, don't we, folks? Hallen's pretty good damage on that. This is the second one. Hits the third one. Bite. Oh, crit bite will finish him. Doesn't do it. No power, though. Third bite. We call that 3 bites. The charge? The charge takes it. Look at that. Alright, GG's, JP. 2-1, baby! We're on the block. We're on the block. We need to win with him next time, and we'll be good. Charybdis and El Tigre Loco. No, that's not going to be it, because I did not spell it right. There's a tilde in it. crushed chicken. That's how I like it. All right, prediction is live. Who do you guys like? We're about halfway through round 3. This is match 10. We got 10 more after this, and then we'll be calling it a night. Thanks for hanging out, guys. Did you ever upload the Golem blindfold stream? I did not. That's a Moosebones classic. That one's fun because, like, I want to watch it back to see what I was doing, but the time involved in doing that is... It's a tough stream to leave everything that's fun in it because it's just way too long. El Tigre Loco with all of the bets. You're so funny. We're all suffering from mango madness. We're mango men. We're just mango men. I've seen bits of it, but I haven't seen the whole thing. You know what? I feel really bad. Project L, he made the new Kamui video that's up. He edited that for me. And he did a really good job. And he actually went back and he edited it in because he found out that the Donkey Kong sound effect, or like someone else found out that Tiger and Donkey Kong from Melee have a lot of the same sound effects. And so he like made an edit of that. And I fucked up, and that's not the version I uploaded. So he went through all that extra work and it just did not go up. So maybe I'll get him to like just send me the part that is that, like the part where he like compares the two, and I'll upload that as like its own little thing. Patreon content? Yeah, I could do that. That's smart. It's just like a little throwaway thing. Damn, El Tigre Loco. That's 2-0? Well, I mean, he won that. Can we catch him in blindfold vids? Sounds way too hard. It is very difficult. Last year, we didn't even do one. Because we did a big stream of where I speedran every Monster Rancher 1, 2, and 3 back-to-back, and then Monkey Puncher. And to raise money for the MS Society. And we'll be doing that again this year. But maybe I'll do another blindfolded run this year for the MS Society instead of speedrunning or whatever. Alright, so he gets all the points. Spot Trick and Razor Leaf up next. Yeah, so first year was Blindfold Hair, which is kind of lost to the ether. I do have it, but it's like 4 years old at this point. And then we did Blindfold Plant, that's up on YouTube. And then I did Blindfold Monal, which is also up on YouTube. And then I did Blindfold Golem. And Blindfold Golem was the best run we had. I got 2 of the Major 4 or something like that. The hair one is the only one. Like, Golem one's not edited yet. The hair one is not online anywhere. But the other 2 are. Okay, prediction is live. Blindfolded Monkey Puncher would go hard. Oh my god. There's so many, like, timing-specific things with no sound cues, though. Like, trying to do the skipping minigame. Was Plant here? Plant came out February 2022. So that was like a year after DX came out? No. It was a couple of weeks after DX came out. And then the Monal one came out July 27th, 2023. So that was like straight up a year or like 6 months after it had happened, because we did the Plant one October 2021 and we did the Monal one October 2022. It takes me a very long time to edit these together. Uh, okay. What do we got on the predictions? 87% on Razor Leaf. Fire Charge opener. Huge damage for Spot Trick. Gets him a little claw. Bang and Retaliation. They're both in the yellow. Neither's got power. Any hit will kill here. Spin Kick. And no crit. Razor Leaf's going to take it. I don't know, like, the blindfolded stuff, I would have to, like, sit down a couple of days before and, like, remember how the, like, plays on a controller. Like, all the muscle memory and stuff is, like, completely lost to me now. Too bad we can't have vids in the New Year streams. I know. Even the, like, little edited clips I have thrown up are, like, they're all getting claimed. So I have to, like, be very selective with what I put up, and then, a lot of the jokes get ruined because I can't upload like the lead into the joke because it's too much of the video at that point. Beef Tank and Robot Hot. The New Year streams are always sick though. The year Macho and I did it was so funny. There's so many out-of-pocket jokes in that. Prediction is live. I have the recording, I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure I still have the recording. Where, like, Moo, like, shines like a laser or whatever, and it hits Holly in the stomach, and it's like, oh no, she can't have kids anymore, or something like that. She's barren now? Oh my god. What a fucked up joke to make, but it was funny. 100% on Robot Hot. Charge is gonna miss. Mochi doing the Nazi salute is still like the funniest thing to me though. Oh, big charge. Big charge. Heavy chop miss. Knocking up. Can't do that to Holly. On account of the laser. Not the laser cutter. Laser cutter baby out. I don't know. Alright. Beef Tank wins game 1. We're just doing word association at this point. It's like the lowest form of comedy. Oh, the laser cutter again. I love the, like, cyan color of Garland's lasers. Damn, Beef Tank, kind of killing it. Both the whales doing pretty good. I think they're both 2. Or Heavy Whale is 3-0 and Beef Tank is 2-1. And only lost to the other whale. Or something like that. Robot dodged nothing? Yeah, he just kind of stood there. Bug to miss Prime and Jamlord. Helps if I put the hyphen in, I suppose. Okay, prediction is live. Who do you like? I've seen the PBL veteran doing well. Yeah, we got a couple of really old guys in here. It's been doing well. Beef Tank did well. Primus is what, 1-1 right now? Couple other monsters from like forever ago doing well. Tsukiko unfortunately did not do super well, but Tsukiko is Fan favorite. 75% on Jamlord. Pierce miss. Pierce miss. Pierce miss, man. Wow, that was a big punch. What the hell? 2 in a row, 2 crits? And then he backs off. Okay, that was many punches. Holy shit. Dude, I love his fist miss. Like, he shoots his 2 arms, and then he shoots the 2 little bug arms he has. No worm this turn? Yeah, no worms. Oh, worm? He's been loving spinning horn, man. Maybe Beaklon's the next monster I do. Beaklon's got a lot of text, though. It is June. Beaklon is a June monster. Yeah, maybe Beaklon's the next one we do. Bugged him as prime, I'm gonna take it. Which Beaklon would I raise in real life? Melkarva is my favorite Beaklon. Mr. Sandman and Manly Oak. We were talking about this the other day, and it never really occurred to me, but there's like so much truth behind it. Where when you look at like Pokemon or whatever, and it's like in universe, some Pokemon are like way more popular than others, right? Like Pikachu is like a more popular Pokemon than whatever. You got like, you know, people raising Rattatas and things like that. And it's like, that's not my favorite. My favorite is Tyranitar or whatever, right? Because like Tyranitar is cool as hell. He's not my favorite, but you get what I'm saying, right? Predictions live, by the way. But like in universe, it makes so much sense that like Tyranitar is not the favorite Pokemon of like most people, because imagine having to look after a fucking behemoth like that. It's the same thing with like Monster Rancher, right? Where it's like Beaklon or Melkarva is my favorite, but would I want to like have to take care of like this gigantic mechanical beast that like I'm not an engineer. I don't know how it's put together. This shit is from like hundreds of years in the past. That's why hairs are so cool. You're onto something. Tyranitar Dex entry mentioned it committed war crimes against Mapter Rs daily. Yeah. Hair would be a great mon to have. He's just a little guy. Nighton would probably be slimy, but I would still love him. Ain't that right? Old Sheldon. I think we gotta name him Old Sheldon now. We were just calling him Pirito because he didn't really have a name for the last 2 years. But after Combo Breaker, I think he's gotta be Old Sheldon now. Tigers to be the equivalent of Huskies. Except they got like big like fucking horns, man. What's up with that? Manly Oak gonna take game number 1. I think we all agree Pixie would be like the worst, because that's just a human. That's slavery. He's gotta be Old Sheldon, yeah. Suffering in the summer and chill in the winter. Hairhound has little ears. Yeah, that's true. Hairhound does not have horns. He's got little ears. Does he need the hot spring to unlock Nighton? I wonder if you would need some body of water for him to chill in. Probably. You'd probably need a tank. Okay, that's 2-0, right? I do believe that's 2-0. Someone will yell at me if it's not, but we're going to move on. Hot Tub Nighton streams? Hell yeah. Little Bugger and Tongue Slap, and we got apostrophe fight. Have a kid if I'm being real. He's gonna drink all your booze, smoke all your cigarettes. Okay, prediction is live. Who do you guys like? Maybe they leave him indoors or shave him. We used to shave our Bernese in the summertime. I had a husky when I was growing up. And then someone stole him. It's so sad, man. Someone like hacksawed through his chain. And it's one of those things where it's like people are like, oh, you kept your dog chained up outside. My dog hated being inside. So what we did is we built him this huge pen that was like 500 by 500 feet with like shelter and stuff inside. And we would just like let him run around in it when it was nighttime because he did not want to like sleep in the house. And so we let him chill out there, which we assumed was like, you know, safe enough. And then somebody fucking hacksawed through the chain that held the thing together. And I think like we found out who it was, but it's like hard to prove it, right? 82% on tongue slapping. It was rough. The hell does that? I don't know, man. It's really shitty. Expensive dog too. It's like $1,000 in like 1997. Tongue slapping wins game 1. Game 2, here we go. What became the suspect? I don't know. It's like we don't know the actual guy. It was more of like saw someone driving around with a dog in the back of the truck one day, and like it looked like my boy Blizzard. But you know, hard to do something about it as a child. Glad I was able to catch the live stream. Got to put the kids to bed. Hey, appreciate it. Thanks for tuning in. Very kind of you. First time you've seen chewing, it's awesome. The move is sick. Damn, big roll and blow miss. He tried it though. Wouldn't trust anyone who has a rat cage their monster. That's probably fair. That shit's demonic. That would be me though. That'd be me with my little fucked up little guy. 3 out of 5? I don't know what the score is. Is that... Did I miss something? Suezo the best witherer? It was 2-0 Suezo? Oh, okay. And now it's 2-2. Okay, thank you. No, the best witherer is probably like if you're just going to build a build that like works well, and then the withering is also there. Undine is probably the best. The best if you're like actively trying to wither is, I don't know. In human control, I think it's probably Undine. I think that's probably safe. Suezo's good at withering. Suezo does a lot of withering on like everything. But it's just really like, what do you call it? It's secondary. Like his techs are so good that like you don't need to worry about the withering. They just like make his tech stronger. Mochi, for example, does a lot of withering on all of his stuff as well. But his techs are so dog ass that like it doesn't end up mattering as much. Undine has a couple of techs that are like really big damage, super accurate, and also just do a shit ton of withering. So while I don't think Suezo is like the best, he's definitely like up there. He's probably like top 3. It's probably like Undine, Suezo, and Joker. Prediction is live. Who do you guys like? If we were keeping monsters in real life, or we're in the Monster Rancher universe, I'd probably keep an Arrowhead or Zoom. They're just friend-shaped. Arrowhead making the little like clicking noises is pretty cute. You can make an argument for Suezo being best at withering. You probably could. I don't think it is, but he's definitely up there. Love Hopper. He'd probably dig holes in the yard all the time. Hopper seems like a little bastard. Like, he'd be a little shit disturber. Same thing with Duckin, right? Duckin, I think, would be just trying to piss me off all the time. Nighton, I think, is a good boy. Love that about Hopper? You wouldn't love that as a pet, though, is what we're saying. Game number 2. Here we go. Hits the snowstorm. All right, we're going to game 3. He's got the pea ice. Damn, Whamshell gonna take that. Holy moly. Duckin could shoot a missile at you and your annoying neighbor. Yeah, if you taught him how to, you could like kill people with him. That's true. Though I think that's fair of like all of these creatures who should not be monsters, if you will. Korra and the Joker baby. The joke. All right, we're getting to the end, folks. Thanks for hanging in with me. Prediction is live. Who would you like? We got 4 matches left, including this one. Keeping a Naga would be like keeping a venomous snake, only 10 times worse. A venomous snake, they gave snakes hands now? That's crazy. Mew would be cute. Yeah, having like an eared Mew or something. Pure Mew would be cool. I don't think the owner is deciding who the duck can shoot missiles at. That's probably true. The good news is about like all of these monsters, right? Is that if they go by the way it works in game, they're weak as fuck until you decide to teach them that shit, right? So you have time to build up that rapport and that loyalty before, you know, they start firing nukes. A baby monster is like much weaker than a person, whether or not they can shoot lightning out of their hands. And the way I know that is because I've done the sparring minigame where you just beat the shit out of them early on. You're so much stronger than they are. There's art of Naga holding yarn for Holly to knit. That's really cute. He's well trained. That's so many lightnings, man. He's about to go Joker mode. Yeah, you fucked up. Eared Mew in the anime, the pirate ship Mew, or I guess they're like hunting for treasure. That happens a couple of times. There's like the pirate ship with the horns. And then there's the episode with the eared Mew where they're attacked by the arrowheads. And then there's the Gordish episode, which is like a submarine. Okay, so Korra lit the mochi on fire, as it were. Wins that one 2-1. He just owns a boat. He's just a sailor. I'm a sailor pig, and I lost my leg. Root Beer and Rise and Grind up next. It's so crazy to me that like Shipping Up to Boston became like as big of a song as it did, because I have the CD that it originally came out on, which is like a sampler CD from Hellcat Records, which is the record label owned by Tim Armstrong from Rancid. And so I used to just like listen to that. It was called Give 'Em the Boot. I think it was Give 'Em the Boot 5 specifically. And it would just like have all the different artists from the label on it. Prediction is live. And the Dropkick Murphys were on that. And that's where Shipping Up to Boston comes from. It was written specifically for that compilation. And then, you know, was it The Departed? It was The Departed, right? Where they like re-recorded it because it sounded so ass, and they're like, we love this song, we want to put it in the movie, but it sounds bad and you need to re-record it. And so, oh my god, exactly 50-50. That's crazy. 2.3K on both monsters. And so like the version of the song I grew up listening to is like ever so slightly different, but I can tell the difference. You're rooting for me? Thank you. I went 2-1 today. Cool story, Unk, I know, but I do like my punk tunes, you know. Power face drill, big miss. We're gonna get a game 3. It's looking like rear leg kick miss, but he's got 80 guts. He can't run away forever. Rise and grind, bringing it to game number 3. He's what, 1-1 right now? Kind of lost round 1 unceremoniously and then landed a million death thrusts in game 2. Damn, triple stabs for the kill. Holy. Missing the smash, but he's still in it. Root combo gonna do. Good chunk on the crit. Death thrust, not what you need there. You only gotta do 1 damage. Another root combo, another crit. Oh my god. He got him. Poor Rise and Grind. But good job, Root Beer. Punching above his weight for sure. 2 matches laughed even. Slop Tart and Kid Muscle, and then Primus and fill in later. That's a big upset. For true. A lot of tildes in this tournament. Okay, prediction is live. You hear Weird Al's version of eBay? I buy your knickknacks. Just check my feedback. A plus plus. They all say they love me on eBay. I haven't heard that in forever. %57% on Kid Muscle. Here we go. Poodle Hat was a good album. It was. Hardware Store is like physically like the most impressive song I've ever heard. By the type who's like way to snipe you with 2 seconds left to go. Whoa. It took me a second to realize you were singing the lyrics, but yes. Kid Muscle on a Bajral based off Ultraman, which has a spin-off game in the Monster Hunter series. It's not so much a rabbit hole as it is like it's a rabbit loop. A hyper loop, if you will. Kid Muscle wins game number 1. Slop Tart, by the way, if you don't remember, he got 2nd place at this year's Deluxe Cup. So that's like 2nd out of 80 monsters. Slop Tart wins game number 2. What was my favorite song on Poodle Hat? Genius in France is really good. The like Frank Zappa style. He's got anger. It's the spike top, you dead. That did so much damage. Holy shit. Slop Tart gonna finish that off. Wins it 2-1. We're on our last match of the night. Last chance to bet. I'll give you guys a little bit extra time if you like lost some money. You're like, I want to get back into it. Be ready for next time. We got Primus and we got fill in later. Bob's pretty good too. Wanna Be Your Lover? I think Wanna Be Your Lover is like one of the weaker ones on it. There's a couple that are like not great, but like I loved as a kid. But like as an adult, I'm like, I don't really want to listen to it. Like I Want to Be Your Lover and like Party at the Leper Colony. Okay, prediction is live. Performs well in concert. I could see that. I think the parodies on it are like not all incredible. Like the Nelly one is like not great. Complicated Song is not great. But like I really like the what's the Benfold Fives one? Is it just called Why Does This Always Happen to Me? %62% on fill in later. Here we go. Final match of the night. Hardware Store's peak? Yeah, for sure. I think that's like a hard number one. Sleep Token and Price Master are the same person? That's... You might be spitting. Just a different backing track behind it. I can't do the Hardware Store bridge. I can do the That's Your Horoscope for Today bridge. I do that shit at karaoke. But I can't do the Hardware Store one. That one's fucking insane. How does he do that in one breath, man? Beaklon combo, big damage. We're going to game 3. Just like that. Just like that. Just like that. Red Wisp opener, a little bit of withering. He's doing okay though. Horn attack, huge damage. That's Horoscope for Today, such a fun song. Yeah, it's probably my favorite on the album. Which is like, I think a much stronger album start to finish. And Add Again? Oh no. Oh shit. It comes down to this. I'm not even going to be able to watch their own monster. No. Grit? No grit. Oh no, Freya. I'm sorry. It happens though. Okay. So, fill in later, gonna win that one. Unfortunate ads. Ducklon abuse, yeah. Alright. Is the ad over yet? It is now. So Freya, you got hit with like 4 red wisps in the last match. And that's what did him in. It was close though. You hit a good horn attack. But you got withered too much. That's so BM, I know. Hey, you got triple stabs. You would do the same if the shoe was on the other foot. We had heavy... Hold on. I don't even have this up on the screen. Give me one sec. So that's it for the tournament. That's wrong. That's right. We had Heavy Whale, Ronaldinho, Shrike, and Susie 3 times, and Knee. All with 3-0s. So congratulations to them. Everyone from Battenberg all the way down to Whamshell. Got a 2-1, so they don't advance, but they are on the button. So next time they fight, if they get a 2-1, they will advance. Primus, all the way down to Prezioso. 3 times Pimpy, 1 and 2. Didn't I win twice? I won twice. Beat Async. Oh, I beat Primus. Right? Yes, I did. I ended the tournament already, though. Okay, so I'm 2-1. I just have to remember to put that in later. So does that mean Primus went 0-3? Oh, I'm sorry. And then Async, Tsukiko, Charybdis, Kimchi, and Sensui. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Did I one of these wrong? So something else is wrong too. I'm really confused. Because, yeah, I'm pretty sure... I'd have to watch it again, but I'm pretty sure I beat Primus. Because I hit the diving press game 3. No, I can reopen this. So is there something else, some other mistake I made? Oh. You know what? I think it fucked everything up. Because I said 3 times Pimpy won or lost, it changed who Primus had to fight, and it changed who 3 times Pimpy had to fight. So because of that, we ended up with more monsters that got demoted than there should have been. But, you know, it's still the same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we just have 1 extra monster who got demoted, but not the end of the world. That means next week is our final week of like new monsters, and then we're done, and we can start building the form out, and we'll have the ladder all made up. Well, every monster will have fought in the DXBL. Very exciting. And then we'll get back into it. I'm pretty excited to see how the second round goes. And we'll start seeing some like pretty significant striations from monsters, I think, especially if monsters that won 3 times last time win 3 times again, and then they're at like a +2. That'll be pretty sick. And then I think after we do, I said before that I'm pretty sure we're going to do this 2 or 3 times, and then we're going to have a break, and then some rules are going to change after that. So this is almost the end of the first cycle, and then we'll do a second cycle, and then we'll see where we're at, and then we might do a third cycle, and then rules will change, and then things will start getting like a little bit more exciting at the end. But this is just to like set up our initial like who is up, who is down, and then we'll go from there. So let's rate a channel. Let's see who is streaming. I appreciate you guys for hanging out. I appreciate. You want to play Monster Rancher? We got some friends playing games, but do we have anyone playing Monster Rancher other than Monster Bet? Someone's playing Monster Rancher 2? Hell yeah. All right. Let's rate them. Throw some emotes their way when you get into chat. They just started their stream. Oh my god. I got hiccups all of a sudden. They're doing a Nuzlocke run? Hell yeah. Okay. I am quite sleepy. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'll see you tomorrow. We might be trying that new game. I'll try and like check it out beforehand. If not, we'll just be playing some Monster Rancher. We'll be doing something. Maybe I'll do the beat the game without spending any money bit that we were talking about. Hope you guys have a good one, and I'll see you.